Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Hey, fanfic family. So glad to see you here again to continue this incredible adventure. As always, kindly remember, this story is 100% fiction, so don't go looking for dimensional portals in your closet. All rights to this fantastic novel belong to the original author. We're just your humble narrators of epic tales. Are you enjoying the fanfic? Show it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and dropping us a like. And if you want to support us and get exclusive content, Ko-Fi is your happy place. Chapter 101 Beautiful Villager. As he spoke, Ashura seemed to sense something and took 2 steps forward. It seems we have arrived. Screen turned Taizo's side. I didn't expect there would be such an oasis in the middle of the wilderness. Does such a village really have the problems that Master Ui mentioned? Ashura suddenly stopped. Taizang asked curiously. What happened? Ashura said solemnly. We are surrounded. As soon as he finished speaking, several villagers armed with hammers and shovels rushed out and surrounded them. One of the villagers asked, "Who are you?" Ashura explained to the villager who asked the question, "We are not bad people, we are just travelers." Another villager said, "Recently, many thieves have set their sights on this village." Ashura explained to him, "We are not thieves, believe me, ignore him. Go." Seeing this, Ashura took a defensive stance and shouted, "Taizang, go stay in the tree." Taizo yelled, and quickly ran through the crowd towards the big tree. Ninja world. Haha. I really like Taizang's cowardly look. It's so funny. Look, those villagers are shocked by his speed, especially those 2 villagers. Watching Taizo run past them, it was so funny. Taizang really has grown so strong for nothing. Tisk tisk, this is only Ashura. If it was Indra. On screen Ashura said to the villagers, "Stop, I don't want to do it." A pretty female villager in front of him said in a bad tone, "Then leave this village immediately." Behind Ashura, a villager swung a shovel and was about to attack him, but he easily dodged it. But who knew that when she dodged, the shovel hit the female villager's shoulder directly. Hearing the female villager's screams of pain, the villager holding the shovel stood there in a daze. Looking a little at a loss, Ashura didn't care too much and quickly stepped forward and asked with concern, "Hey, are you okay?" The female villager said loudly with a look of resistance, "Don't touch me." Ashura pointed his palm at her and said, "Stop talking. I will help you heal your wound right now." As he spoke, a faint green light emerged from his hand. Hope it will succeed. The female villager closed her eyes and turned her head away. After a while, the wound gradually healed. The female villager opened her eyes and said in disbelief, "How amazing." At this time, an old man came over with a cane and asked, "What are you arguing about?" The female villager heard the sound and turned around. "Elder, Ninja world, this villager is so beautiful. Could she be Ashura's future wife?" "It's very likely. This is a hero saving a beautiful girl. There is a reason why they treat Ashura so badly." Once the misunderstanding is resolved, the villager may feel guilty towards Ashura and finally pledge his love to him. They look really good together. Ashura is handsome and the villager is a beauty. I wonder what Indra's wife will be like? She must be very good too, right? So there were medical ninjutsu at that time. No wonder Ashura said that ninjutsu could cure Taizo's mother. On screen, what a sumptuous meal. Can I really eat it all? The elder smiled and said, "Don't be polite, just eat." "I'm really sorry for what happened to the villagers just now," Ashura said. "This is nothing. I never thought that there would be such fertile land in the wilderness." The smile on the elder's face faded, and he said, "This village is very special. Although there is nothing there." He picked up his cane, stood up and said, "But please take your time to rest." After saying that, he opened the curtain and walked out. Ninja world, no need to think. There must be something wrong with this village. Just look at the attitude of this elder. What exactly is the sacred tree? According to Ashura, all the chakra in the ninja world comes from that sacred tree. The hidden problem of this village, if my guess is correct, it has something to do with the sacred tree, right? You'll know if you keep reading. Why do you always like to guess? You don't understand. If I really guess it right, I will feel excited. This is my greatest pleasure. The people around him shrugged helplessly. Okay. I don't understand your amusement at all. On screen the next day early morning, Taizo opened the curtain and walked out of the house. He yawned and said, "You got up so early, Ashura. This village is really a great place. Not only are the water and food delicious, but the girl you saved is also a beauty." "There is no problem at all." Ashura looked into the distance and said, "But I still feel that place." "What, chakra?" Taizang asked. "Are you talking about the sacred tree?" Ashura said seriously, "Most likely." Screen turned. The 2 men walked towards the sacred tree, but halfway there, They were stopped by two villagers holding wooden sticks. "Hey! Where are you going?" Ashura pointed to the distance. "We want to go to that hill." "No. The elders have ordered that no one is allowed to approach. Go back quickly." Taizo put his hand on Ashura's shoulder and said, "Let's go." Ashura, as the two of them were walking back, Taizo said, "Something feels wrong." Sure enough, there is something wrong. Ninja world. That sacred tree belongs to Ashura's father and grandmother, right? The people in this village are stopping them from entering? How overbearing, how, such a bad tone. If they were facing Indra, I guess they would never dare to speak to Indra like this, of course. Indra doesn't look like someone you can mess with. He has been superior since birth, both in status and talent. His aura alone makes people dare not disrespect him. If it was Indra, he would have killed the two villagers before going in, right? When have you ever seen Indra kill someone for no reason? At most he would just give him a beating. On the moon, that's my thing. Do you guys want to take the sacred tree for yourselves? Kaguya's tone was extremely angry when she said this. It feels like your things are taken over by a group of people whom you normally wouldn't even look at, and your grandson wants to go and see them, but is stopped by others, and now you have no way to deal with that group of people. Just like Kaguya at this moment, she could only sulk on the moon on screen. On their way down the mountain, Ashura and Taizo met the beautiful female villager from yesterday. Taizang pointed at her and said, "Oh, aren't you the beautiful girl from yesterday? It just so happens that we are going to stay in this village for a while. Can you please take us around? His name is Ashura, and my name is Tai." Before he could finish his words, he was pushed away by the female villager. She walked up to Ashura and asked, "My name is Kanai, are you a doctor?" "Not really a doctor." Taizo came over and explained, "He knows ninjutsu." "Ninjutsu? I see, that is," Kanai asked anxiously, "can that cure diseases as well?" Chapter 102. As expected of you. Cure a disease. Ashura and Taizo looked at each other. Kanai looked at Ashura and said, "Come with me." The scene changed, and the three of them came to a simple house. Ashura asked, "Where's this place?" "Nursing home. I would like you to help my mother with her illness." After entering the house, the three men came to a skinny woman lying on a straw mat. Kanai stroked the woman's face with her hand and said, "Mom, she has been unconscious." Ashura picked up the woman's hand and felt it. "What's going on? I can feel some strong chakra. Could it be from the sacred tree?" Thinking of this, Ashura began to mobilize the chakra in his body. A layer of green light suddenly covered the woman's entire body. After a moment, Ashura stood up and said, "No, I can't cure her illness with my power." "I'm sorry." Kanai looked a little lost, yet Ashura looked at the people lying on the straw mats around him and asked, "Are they all the same as your mother?" Taizo walked to the back of the room, parted the curtain and took a look. This one glance made him see an extremely shocking scene. "Ashura, come here." Ashura heard this and walked towards him. After opening the curtain, the two stood in front of the densely packed earth mounds. Ashura murmured, "Is this a grave?" A bead of sweat appeared on Taizo's face. "No wonder I always feel this place makes people uncomfortable. Did this disease kill so many people?" Kanai came out of the house and answered Ashura's question. "Yes." Ashura looked serious and said in a firm tone, "It seems that I can only go once." The scene changes. Ashura came behind the villagers that the two were guarding and formed a way seal with his hands. "Sorry, please take a nap." Ashura made a few random seals with his hands, and became more and more silent. One of the villagers asked, "What are you doing?" Ashura turned around and scratched his head in embarrassment. "Up, the seal of the illusion is." With two bangs, two villagers fell to the ground. Ashura turned his head and saw Taizo and Kana each holding a wooden stick. Taizang patted the stick in his hand and said with a smile, "This is much simpler." Kanai put the stick behind her back and turned her head away. "Ninja world, you are truly worthy of me, Ashura." "Haha, that's the Ashura I remembered." Has Ashura forgotten how to make hand seals again? Can such a person assist his brother in the future? Maybe he is the last ninja clan to inherit the clan. The beautiful girl named Kana also helped. Is it because of her mother? On screen, the three of them walked for an unknown amount of time before they finally arrived in front of the sacred tree. No mistake, this is the sacred tree. My chakra reacts strongly, I understand. The sap of the sacred tree seeps into the earth. It may be the sap that nourishes the soil, which makes an oasis appear in the middle of the wilderness. Taizang beside him asked, "You mean, it is the power of the sacred tree that makes the land fertile?" "That means, the sacred tree has regained its power," Ashura said seriously. "No, it has not yet fully revived, but it should gradually wake up. There are more serious problems." "How to say?" Ashura explained, "I think humans will be the first to be polluted." Pollute. The sap of the sacred tree passes through the crops of this land, is ingested by animals and humans, and accumulates more and more in the body. Taizo asked stupidly, so, if you eat the food here, you will get that disease, most likely. Ahem. Taizao fell to his knees and began to retch. I ate a lot yesterday. Ashura comforted him softly. It's okay, I can cure that little bit with my magic, but what has accumulated over the years is... Taizanko's voice became a little hoarse. But, since the elder has someone guarding here, it means that the elder knows all of this, right? Should be Ninja World. You know what? Ashura looks pretty handsome when he's serious, right? Taizang's cowardly look makes me want to laugh the more I see him. What exactly is the sacred tree? There are too many secrets in this ninja world. On screen next scene, the elder looked at the three Azuras and said, really? You saw the sacred tree? Yes, traveler. Why do you want to know the secrets of the village? Ashura said solemnly, I'm sorry, I came here from the ninja village on orders. The elder stood up and put his hands behind his back. The ninja clan? It is said that they destroyed the earth 20 years ago? The elder pointed at Ashura and asked, are you from the ninja clan? Yes. That tree is the remains of a monster that almost destroyed the world, so it has power. I was ordered to deal with it. After that, Ashura said worriedly, elder, that tree is like poison. The power of the sacred tree will indeed make the land fertile, but it will also corrupt the villagers. If this continues, one day, traveler, I have long understood this situation, but we cannot live without that tree. Why? Hearing his question, the elder explained, the tree gained power about a dozen years ago. Before that, this place was just a barren land. Cruel droughts came as scheduled every year, and countless people starved to death. Why not dig a well? The elder sighed and said, it failed. We have tried this method before, but after so many years of digging, we were always blocked by the solid rock layer under the ground. Now if we lose that tree, how can we survive? We can't let the villagers go back to the days of starvation. Besides, even if they knew the truth, the villagers would not agree. Traveler, leave us alone. Leave this land immediately. Ninja World. I see. It seems that as long as Ashura uses ninjutsu to dig a well, this trial will be completed. Perhaps Indra has already completed the task brilliantly and is on his way back to the ninja clan. But what can these two successors learn from this simple trial? Didn't Ashura say that he would not return to the ninja clan in the short term in order for his brother to inherit the clan? The six-path sage also understands Ashura's intentions, and I believe he will respect his wishes. Right, I feel that those people in the ninja clan at that time were quite pitiful. If Indra inherited the ninja clan, they would definitely be under a lot of pressure. If I were a member of the ninja clan, I would definitely support Ashura. It's the same for me. It's true that Indra is excellent, but he's too strict. Compared to him, I like leaders like Ashura who don't put on airs and can get along well with his subordinates. What kind of leadership qualities does Ashura have? Indra, on the other hand, always gives people the feeling that he is in a high position. The six-path sage has already made his meaning clear. Indra's excellence and Ashura's love are both necessary for the successor of the ninja clan. If only one of them is present, it is impossible to inherit the ninja clan, but the problem is, these two people can't merge. There is no such thing as the best of both worlds in the world, let alone a perfect person. Chapter 103. The Brothers of the Sixth Immortal. On screen. Evening. Kana, what do you think? After hearing Ashura's words, Kanae lowered her head. What do you think? Ashura said, if you continue like this, you will also be contaminated by the sacred tree, but what can we do? We can't go anywhere without this land. We can only bear it. Ashura was silent for a moment, his eyes became more determined. He quickly walked to the villagers not far away and said loudly, please listen to me. Do you know the truth about the sacred tree? When the villagers heard his call, they gathered around. Ashura continued to speak loudly, the sacred tree is the remains of a monster. The patients in the sanatorium all fell ill because of the sacred tree on the hill. If we continue to rely on the power of the sacred tree, one day everyone will suffer from the same disease. Don't you care, everyone? Don't listen to his nonsense. They are from the ninja village. One of the villagers accused, not only has he messed up the world, but he is also trying to take the sacred tree away from us. We can't let their conspiracy succeed. The villagers beside Ashura clenched their fists tightly, gathering strength. Then he yelled at Ashura, get out now. What will we do without the sacred tree? Get out. The villagers became more and more dissatisfied as they spoke, and threw stones at the two men. Ashura and Taizo had no choice but to flee in panic. Ninja World hiss in the eyes of the people at that time. This is what the ninja clan was like? No wonder Taizo's mother hated the ninja clan. Poor Ashura. As the son of the Sage of Six Paths, he is actually treated like this by a group of villagers. I can understand the feelings of those villagers. It's better to die of illness than to die of starvation, right? If the sacred tree is destroyed, they will no longer have such fertile land. I wonder if there are any remains of the sacred tree in the ninja world. I want to go there and take a look. If I find a piece, I can definitely sell it for a lot of money. Let's go together. If I really find it, I will give it to rich Lady Xiaonan. What was the situation like before the establishment of the ninja clan? Perhaps we can only know the truth when the live broadcast shows the goddess of you. When I saw the ferocious white eyes of the goddess of Mao, I thought she would eat people. It's so scary. On screen, Ninja Sect, the examiner who often stood beside the Sage of Six Paths and tested the ninja clan's training, was sweeping the yard with a broom. I wonder how Lord Indra and Lord Ashura are doing. The other side, Gamamaru and Six Paths Sage sat facing each other. Brother, where did you send them? The Six Paths Sage replied. To put it simply, there are two villages with the same problem. What I want to know is how they will solve that problem. Ninja World. When the Ninja World heard Toad addressing the Sage of Six Paths, they were in an uproar. This Toad is not ordinary. He actually called the Six Paths Sage his brother. Did I hear it right? And the Six Paths Sage didn't refute it. Some people's brains suddenly short-circuited, and they foolishly asked their friends, are they brothers? How is it possible? They are not of the same species. How could the goddess of the rabbit give birth to Toad? On screen you see. Honestly, have you already decided on a candidate? The Six Paths Sage denied. No, it has not been decided yet. Although Indra is excellent, he is always eager to solve problems on his own. Ashura is kind to others, but he is never willing to rush to the front. If they can grow up and learn to support each other during this trip, I will be satisfied. Toad Pill, do you have a new dream? Gamamaru asked. About their future? You want me to tell you? That's cheating. You have to decide who will be the heir. The Six Paths Sage awkwardly clenched his fist and coughed. Toad Pill said, and jumped to the water tank. Okay, it's almost time for me to go. The Six Paths Sage looked at its figure and asked, Gamamaru, you don't want to go find them, do you? After asking, he added, don't do unnecessary things. No way. After Toadball finished speaking, he dove into the water tank. Because of his large size, he got stuck on the mouth of the tank, and it took him a long time to squeeze in with his legs. Ninja World, I was wondering, this Toad is not ordinary. It can dream about the future. Isn't this too outrageous? You are worthy of being the brother of the Six Paths Sage. How can an existence that can be the brother of the Six Paths Sage be ordinary? The fact that it can speak proves that it is extraordinary. We are all brothers. What can we do if we talk? Didn't you see the look on Six Paths Sage's face? He was embarrassed after Toad told him he was cheating. It means he knew that he couldn't say that. Haha, I can actually see the Six Paths Sage looking embarrassed. I thought he always had that calm expression. Somewhere Jiraiya said with a weird and lewd smile. No, the ending sound is unusually long. So you're such a giant Toad immortal. On screen Ashura stood on the rock, looking in the direction of the sacred tree. Taizang behind him said, Ashura, let's go. From now on, you can go wherever you want. Ashura crossed his arms across his chest and groaned, since you can't let it go, why not just destroy the tree secretly? With your strength, can't you do this little thing? Ashura retorted, but then, what will the villagers do? Although life is hard, it is better than being killed by a tree. Ashura touched his chin and said, yes, Father didn't simply order me to destroy the sacred tree. Father said to solve the problem. Hey, don't have any weird thoughts. Ashura turned to look at Taizo and said firmly, to solve the problem, we can only dig a well. Taizang shouted, are you kidding? The elders also said that the rock is too hard to dig. Yes, but my father also said this at that time. In memory you have inherited the power of my ninja clan, but there is no model for how to use it in the world. How to use it depends entirely on your heart. End of memories. Ashura's eyes were firm. It depends on us. I've decided. I'm going to do what I believe in, no matter how many years it takes. We must do it. And the ninja clan at this moment. Lord Indra, Master Indra is back. As expected of Master Indra, you're back so soon. Seeing Indra walking in slowly, a member of the ninja clan stepped forward and said, congratulations on your safe return. Indra asked, where's Ajuro? The person in front of him answered, he hasn't come back yet. Ninja World. Someone sighed. Ajuro just started to act. Indra has already solved the problem and returned to the ninja sect. The gap between these two brothers is really huge. Besides digging a well, Indra wouldn't have a better solution, right? Ashura said he would need several years to dig the rock. but Indra had already finished and returned to the ninja clan. He was really efficient. Chapter 104, mainly that stupid comment. So will Indra grow in this trial, really? I just helped dig a well. What can I learn from that? On screen when Kana was carrying firewood down the mountain, she happened to see Taizo who was struggling to move rocks. Could that person be? She ran over quickly and in the big pit not far in front of her Ashura held the whirlwind return in his hand and smashed the rocks again and again. Kana ran to the pit and shouted, Ashura. Ashura stopped what he was doing and turned back, all dirty. Oh. It's Kana, what are you doing? After taking a breath, Ashura climbed out of the pit and said, don't you understand? I'm digging a well, are you serious? As long as we can dig out well water, we won't have to rely on the sacred tree anymore, right? Kana looked at him and said, it's impossible. The villagers have tried for many years but still can't dig out water, Taizang said helplessly. That's what I said, but this guy, once he makes up his mind, he won't listen to advice. Ashura's face was full of determination. It has nothing to do with whether it can be done or not. I decided to do it, see you later. Kanai, after saying that, he jumped into the big pit again. Next moment with a loud boom, thick smoke rose. Kanai looked at Taizo speechlessly. Are you guys stupid? Taizo put his hands on his hips. I may not, but he definitely is. In the pit a light blue whirlwind appeared in Ashura's palm, and then he smashed the whirlwind hard on the ground. Boom. No matter how many years it takes, we must do it. In the Pure Land Madara muttered, he won't listen to advice once he's made a decision. Why does that guy look so much like Hashirama? If that's the case, then wouldn't I be? Madara narrowed his eyes. He has sensed more than once that he has a very strange chakra in his body, but after his death, I never felt it again. The other side to Birama also said to himself, Ashura and my brother have very similar personalities. These 3 lives and 3 worlds and Indra and Ashura, don't they mean reincarnation? It was mainly because of that stupid comment that made him, cough. Tobirama coughed twice, interrupting his subsequent thoughts. His elder brother wasn't actually that stupid when it came to some things, and on the ninja clan side Indra walked up to the Six-Path Sage, knelt on one knee and said, I am back. The Six-Path Sage asked, very good. How is the situation? Everything was done according to your instructions. The Six-Path Sage nodded and asked, any questions? No, the village has returned to peace. The person next to the Sage of Six Paths asked, Master Haguramo, Master Indra has returned first, so the successor of the ninja clan. No, I am not testing your speed. Wait for Ashura to come back before making a decision. Got it? Indra replied respectfully, yes. That night Indra came to the back mountain. Came the mysterious man's voice. Long time no see. Indra, huh? It seems that the nature is not high. Didn't you come to see me specially? I understand. You did what Yui asked, but you are not satisfied. The future of the ninja clan envisioned by Yui is not the future you want. Indra remained silent and said nothing. After seeing this scene, some people in the ninja world couldn't help but sigh. Why did Indra go looking for this guy who obviously had bad intentions? Although Indra himself has some influence on his current personality, it is ultimately due to the guidance of this mysterious man. I think if Indra could become the same character he was when he was a child, I would be so excited that tears welled up in my eyes, right? But the way he is now. Alice, the people around him advised, don't take it too seriously. This is just a piece of history. It's all in the past. We are just looking at a truth from the past. What kind of future does Indra want for the ninja clan? He has been a genius since he was young. Although there are mysterious people causing trouble, his ideas may not be wrong, right? On screen the days passed one by one, and in the blink of an eye a year had passed within the ninja clan. Master Yui, Master Ashura has been away for a year, but until today, Master Ashura has not returned. The disciples are also uneasy. It is better to decide on the successor as soon as possible, the Six-Path Sage said calmly. I know this. The referee of the ninja clan assessment continued. If you choose Lord Indra, no one will object. Why do you have to wait for Lord Ashura to come back? The Six-Path Sage said, don't worry, Ashura will be back soon. At this time, several disciples of the ninja sect ran in. Master Haguramo, screen turned other side. Lord Indra. Lord Ashura is back. Next scene several people ran to the gate of the ninja clan and saw Ashura waving at them. It seemed that his lively personality had not changed much after more than a year of experience. Not only is it Ashura-sama, there is also a large group of people following behind. I know Taizo, who are the others? After seeing this scene, the Six-Path Sage whispered softly, I'm back. At this time, The sound of toad ball came from the water tank. You really understand your son? The six-path sage turned around and saw Gamamaru struggling to get out of the water tank. Toadpill said speechlessly, I have to find a bigger water tank next time. This scene. Jiraiya pointed at the screen and laughed out loud. I wonder what the expressions of the toads in Myaboku Mountain will be when they see this scene? It will be very interesting. Myaoma Mountain. The two sages, Fukasaku and Shima, stood on the left and right of the great toad sage, pursed their lips, and looked at the toads below with serious expressions. I wonder who dares to laugh. At this moment, the atmosphere in Myaboku Mountain was a little heavy. Toad Bunta tried hard to recall the sad past events he had experienced. As soon as Gamek turned his head to the side, he felt a gaze from Shima Senin in the ninja world. Someone couldn't help but wonder, is Ashura going back to the ninja clan so soon? Doesn't he want to travel? Some people were dissatisfied with the six-path sage. This guy from the ninja clan is really overstepping his authority. Why does he care so much about the successor to the ninja clan? The ninja clan was founded by the six-path sage. He can give it to whoever he wants. What's wrong with him waiting for his youngest son to come back before making a decision? On screen Gamamaru said, it took quite a while. My brother really doesn't have much ability, although he is very determined. The sage of six paths looked at Ashura in the distance and said to Gamamaru, I reminded you not to do unnecessary things. I didn't do it. I just watched from the sidelines. Oh, there's something I need to tell you. About a village that Indra went to. The other side. You're back. Ashura walked up to the ninja clan disciples and said, I'm back. How are you? I'm fine. I'm glad that you, Ashura-sama, have returned safely. Go and see Haguramo-sama. Ashura looked surprised and said, haven't you decided on a brother? Father hasn't. He has been waiting for you to come back. That's it. Chapter 105. The final successor. Ninja sect. Ashura walked into the hall, followed by a group of villagers. Father, I'm back. The six-path sage also looked somewhat relieved. You have become a man. Ashura. Indra looked at him and said, I have been waiting for a long time. Ashura sat cross-legged beside him with an apologetic look on his face. Sorry, Nisan. With my strength, it will still take a long time to solve the village's problems. The six-path sage looked at the group of villagers standing not far behind Indra and Ashura and asked, who are those people? Ashura looked back at the villagers and replied, they are the villagers of that village. They have helped me a lot and are now my most important partners. Kana looked at the six-path sage and said, we heard about this village and wanted to see it with our own eyes, so we followed Ashura here. The six-path sage said, really? Welcome, then. He turned to look at Ashura and said, Ashura, tell me what happened there. Ninja world. I guess the little beautiful Kanai won't leave. If I were Kanai, I would definitely fall in love with Ashura after spending more than a year with him. The story of Ashura and Indra has a kind of magic that can make people addicted to it and forget many things. I don't know when I started to like this stupid Ashura. On screen Ashura narrated his experience. The village I went to originally relied on the water from the sacred tree for survival, so I decided to dig a well. In memory, seeing that he was very persistent, Kanai went back to the village and told the elders about it. The scene changed, and the elder led a group of villagers with hose towards where Ashura was just when Taizang thought that the villagers were coming to drive them away again. One of the villagers said, we are here to help too. Another villager also said, we want to do our own things. If possible, please teach us some ninjutsu as well. Next scene. Ashura taught the villagers how to refine chakra gradually. Many villagers learned how to release ninjutsu then. The villagers and Ashura used ninjutsu together to hit the solid rock. Batch after batch of rubble was carried out of the pit. At a certain moment, Ashura said loudly, everyone, quiet. Ashura lay on the ground and listened. What's wrong, Ashura? Did you hear that? There's some noise. Ashura condensed a hurricane ball in his hand and slammed it towards the ground. After a loud boom, sewage began to spread from the ground. It's water. There is water. The villagers began to cheer. Success. Success. Kanai hugged Ashura excitedly. Success. Ashura. In the distance, Gamamaru watched this scene quietly. Next scene. Ashura and several villagers who learned medical ninjutsu treated the patients together, including Kana's mother. She also opened her eyes after the concerted efforts of several people. Finally, there is a scene where the sacred tree is burned. The memory ends. The six-path sage said, I see. The ninjutsu you spread saved everyone. Ashura looked back at the group of villagers and replied, yes. The sage of six paths had a serious look on his face. Now announce the successor of the ninja clan. Ninja world. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the result. Muai village Minaga shrine key. Such a result really makes me feel bad for our ancestor. Isn't it the difference between one person digging a well and a group of people digging a well? In the end, the six-path sage went against everyone's wishes and chose the latter, which not many people agreed with. Who knows? Perhaps the historical records are also incomplete. Pure Land Tobirama perked up. The history recorded by Senju and Uchiha is different. The history recorded by Senju is in favor of Ashura and describes Indra as very evil. However, the Uchiha records are just the opposite. They only tell how hard Indra tried to inherit the ninja clan and how mediocre Ashura was. However, due to ideological differences, the six-path sage finally chose Ashura. Therefore, Tobirama was extremely curious about the truth of this period of history on screen. The voice of the six-path sage sounded slowly. The successor of the ninja clan is Ashura. Indra and Ashura's pupils widened. Everyone in the ninja clan had a look of disbelief on their faces. What, Master Haguramo? Indra gritted his teeth. Ashura asked loudly, why? I don't have the same outstanding talents as my brother. The sage of six paths closed his eyes. My mind is made up. The ninja world was in uproar. As expected, in the end he chose Ashura, who matched his philosophy. This may be the last straw that breaks the camel's back. Indra will go to extremes. I cannot accept such a result. How can Ashura have the talent to inherit the ninja clan? Just because Ashura is weak and needs the help of the villagers, can he inherit the ninja clan? The elder brother wanted to inherit the ninja clan, but the younger brother didn't want to inherit the ninja clan and only wanted to assist his elder brother. The six-path sage not only did not respect their wishes, but also hastily decided that the younger brother would be the successor. Isn't this creating conflicts for the ninja clan? At that time, what was the difference between creating conflicts for the ninja clan and creating conflicts for the entire world? The ninja clan affects the entire world. On screen Indra asked expressionlessly, why are you not satisfied with me taking the position? Please tell me your reasons. The sage of six paths looked at Indra and said, I have received a report that the village you are in charge of is on the verge of destruction. Indra was startled. Why? The ninja clan disciple who had always been beside the six-path sage asked, did you forcibly remove the sacred tree? Indra's eyes showed a Sharingan, and he looked at him fiercely and asked, do I look that stupid? The ninja clan disciple who had been speaking for Indra was startled and could not help but lean back slightly. The six-path sage said to Indra, tell me what you did. Indra said, what I did was the same as Ashura. I provided water to the villagers according to their needs and dealt with a sacred tree. But the only difference is that I did it alone. The six-path sage looked solemn, but this led to a very different outcome. The villagers fought each other for the right to use water and brought about their own destruction. Happiness that comes easily to you will not last long. In Ashura and the villagers have experienced hardships together, and the happiness gained through suffering will not collapse easily. Indra, you have the extraordinary power of the Sharingan. Although Ashura has grown, his power is not strong enough. In order to support the future development of the ninja clan, you should lend a helping hand to Ashura. Seeing that the result could not be changed, Indra stood up without saying a word, with a gloomy face, and walked out of the hall. Among them were two disciples who had been loyal to Indra and followed him out inside the hall. Everyone was looking at their backs. Ashura murmured, Nisan, I'm afraid that gentle brother I once was will never come back. Chapter 106. Believe. Ninja World. Is this the result? The village that Indra is in charge of is on the verge of destruction, but this is what Indra doesn't want to see, right? He is just using his power to help the villagers. The destruction of that village was caused by themselves. How could Indra accept such a result? Can't the sage of six paths give Indra another chance? I believe that with Ashura's previous experience, Indra will definitely do better than Ashura. If Indra goes against the ninja clan, the whole world will be in chaos. The destruction of a village is not as important as the peace of the whole world. Well, it is true that Indra brought a village to the brink of destruction, but the sage of six paths was a little too rash. Even we can see that Indra has an extreme personality. As a father, he directly decided that Ashura would be the heir, which undoubtedly pushed Indra to the opposite side. The sage of six paths still wants Indra to assist Ashura. How can he be so naive? I understand. It is because Indra stood against the ninja clan that the ninja clan was in chaos and wars broke out in the ninja world, with the various clans in opposition. On screen Indra was very unwilling. Why? Why not choose me? The two followers behind him shouted, that's right. It's natural for the strong to control the world. Indra, you clearly have the power to decide everything. Now go and talk to Master Ui again. One of the disciples patted Indra on the shoulder and consoled him, let us help as well. But Indra just whispered softly, I'm sorry for both of you. The disciple who patted his shoulder thought that Indra was feeling guilty about not being the successor, and said with a smile, "It's okay, I just want to help you." Another disciple also said, "Yes, if you have anything to say, just speak up." During the year that Ashura was training, the two of them received a lot of guidance from Indra, both in ninjutsu and taijutsu. Indra was usually very patient with them, so they were naturally very loyal to Indra because the three of them often get together. They have already established a bond. It can be said that these two are the people Indra trusts the most in the ninja clan. Indra bowed his head. "Really? Thank you." After saying that, he suddenly turned around, and two balls of lightning appeared in his hands, directly piercing the hearts of the two men. The pupils of both of them tightened, and their eyes were filled with bloodshot. "Indra, why?" Indra lowered his head, tears rolling down his nose. "Sorry." After the two men fell, Indra's tone became very cold. "When you lose someone close to you, your Sharingan will evolve." As soon as he finished speaking, he opened his eyes, and the three Magatama in his eyes suddenly turned into the shape of a kaleidoscope. After seeing this scene, the entire ninja world seemed to be quiet for a moment. Then, an uproar broke out in various parts of the ninja world. He actually killed the ninja sect disciple who was loyal to him. This guy is too cruel. Such an extreme person, no matter how strong he is not suitable to inherit the ninja clan, right? Is this the way the Sharingan evolves? Killing those close to you? What an evil pair of eyes. This bloodstain is like some kind of curse. He can kill the disciples of the ninja clan who followed him for power, and he will also abandon more things for power in the future. Letting him inherit the ninja clan is the greatest irresponsibility. So what if he inherits the ninja clan? Who knows what kind of trouble such an extreme person like him will cause in the future. Only a small number of people are still speaking for Indra. The six-path sage and the mysterious person who has been guiding him are both responsible for Indra's transformation, right? If the six-path sage had not given him the position of successor, how could he have been provoked to become so extreme? Indra has been working hard to inherit the ninja clan since he was young. There is nothing wrong with him using his own strength to help others. But the sage of six paths gave the position of the ninja clan to Ashura, who has never made any progress. No one can accept such a thing. Konoha Midomanen looked at Sarutobi Hirozen and asked seriously, "Hirozen, do you really think that a character like Uchiha is qualified to be the Hokage?" Seeing that Udatane Kaoru and Shikoku were also looking at him, Sarutobi Hirozen couldn't help but smile bitterly. To be honest, he really didn't know enough about Uchiha's Sharingan before this. I'm afraid that Uchiha himself doesn't understand his own bloodline limit. The only ones who know enough about how to improve the Sharingan are probably Itachi and the Uchiha elders. Maybe the second-generation sensei as well. Sarutobi Hirozen rubbed his brows with a headache and said thoughtfully, "You also know my thoughts. The arrogant Uchiha people are more eager than anyone else to be recognized by the villagers. In their inherent thinking, such a simple matter should not be difficult for them. When the day comes when Uchiha becomes Hokage, the difficulties brought about by the live broadcast will allow the Uchiha clan to work together to solve them. This will also allow them to develop the habit of considering and paying for the village and the villagers. That's why I thought that Uchiha becoming Hokage was the best solution at the moment. Trust is also a kind of strength. I believe that Uchiha will eventually change himself and completely integrate himself into the village. Every ninja in Konoha village should contribute his own strength for this big collective. This is also an open conspiracy, the conspiracy called habit." Midomanen sighed. "So Hirozen, you still choose to believe the Uchiha? Should we say that he is worthy of being the one who inherited the will of fire of the first generation?" Uchiha clan land Minaga Shrine. The Uchiha atmosphere was silent for a long time. Ancestor Indra actually did such a thing. More importantly, should it be the method for the Uchiha Sharingan to evolve? Fugaku's eyelids twitched when he heard this. This method is not advisable. Otherwise, it will eventually lead to the Uchiha's own destruction. Master Fugaku is right. He killed his relatives and friends for the sake of power, just to evolve these eyes. If every Uchiha follows the example of our ancestors, sooner or later the Uchiha will disappear. Uchiha Totsuka. Why are you looking at me like that, you little bastard? Brother Takuma, I was just joking with you. Given our relationship, it's not so good that killing you will allow me to improve my pupil power. Uchiha Takuma was still a little worried, so he moved his butt out twice, then snorted coldly. It's good that you know. Will this scene on the screen make the village worried? Do they think that an Uchiha with such blood is not fit to be the Kage of a village? The top leaders may have many concerns. After all, we have come this far, but the villagers, how to eliminate the resentment in the villagers' hearts? Let's discuss it after the live broadcast is over. Chapter 107 Inherited Power. On-screen evening at this time, the people of the ninja clan and the villagers brought back by Ashura were celebrating. Today is the auspicious day for the successor of the ninja clan, so don't be shy and enjoy the food. Marvelous, I have never seen such a sumptuous meal. Everyone, let's eat. Everyone ate meat and drank wine with big mouthfuls. Not far away, Taizo sat on a wooden stake with a wine glass in his hand and sighed softly. Kunai walked over to him and sat down, saying, "It seems we came at the wrong time." Taizo opened his eyes and whispered, "To be honest, I am relieved because Ashura was appointed as the heir. Although Ashura's brother is smart and has great ninjutsu, he is sometimes too cold-blooded. If he is the one who inherits the ninja clan, I'm afraid everyone will have to live in fear in the future." That's it, Taizo continued, but Ashura understands other people's joys, anger, sorrows and happiness. Although he was a little stunned, this trip made him grow a lot. At this point, he smiled and said to Kunai, "Isn't this also why you fell in love with him and came here with him?" "What are you talking about?" Taizo said with a strange smile. "You are blushing." Kunai threw the wine glass in her hand directly at Taizo's forehead and shouted, "Idiot." Taizang covered his forehead and said, "It hurts, really?" Kunai put her hands on her hips and looked around. Speaking of which, where did Ashura go? Ninja World. I think with Ashura's personality, he should go find the Sage of Six Paths now, right? I don't know what Indra will do. A man like him will never give up. Even the Sage of Six Paths doesn't know him well enough. Taizang is right. If Indra inherits the ninja clan, I'm afraid everyone will feel depressed, right, Alice? Indra, what a pity. That mysterious man is so abominable. I guess the reason why Indra has become so extreme is probably because of the Sharingan. Even if there is no mysterious man, Indra will open those eyes sooner or later. After all, his powerful talent is there, so while this is already destined, if I were a disciple or a villager of the ninja clan, I would also hope that Ashura would inherit the ninja clan. I was right, the little beauty Kanana will fall in love with Ashura. On screen the Sage of Six Paths is resting with his eyes closed at this moment. The candlelight in the room flickered slightly. He slowly opened his mouth and said, "Ashura." Ashura stood opposite the Six Paths Sage with a serious expression. The Six Paths Sage asked, "Can't you accept it?" Yes. The Sage of Six Paths opened his eyes and said to Ashura, "Indra has changed because of the Sharingan. Everyone who sees Indra's Sharingan will be impressed by its power. Even Indra himself doesn't notice it." Having said that, he stood up and walked slowly towards Ashura. After walking to Ashura's side, he continued, "Indra's Sharingan is so powerful. Because of this powerful force, Indra gradually stopped trying to understand the hearts of others and his heart became closed, but you are different. You can understand people's hearts, so you can use ninjutsu with great love. And this brings trust, bonds and companions to people. The so-called bond is formed only after sharing joys and sorrows. The bond is full of love and affection. As long as the bond exists, ninjutsu will not be used in evil ways. And the power without bonds will eventually bring disaster to the world." Seeing this, several people in the Hokage building were stunned. Shikaku smiled and said with emotion, "This is really a wonderful fate. The Six Paths Sage did not choose Indra, but brought trust and bonds to the world." The current third Hokage, however, insists on giving the Uchiha clan the opportunity to become Hokage because he trusts that the Uchiha clan can change themselves for the position of Hokage. If it weren't for the third Hokage's insistence, I'm afraid no top leader would agree to Uchiha becoming a candidate for Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen also laughed hopefully. Uchiha won't let him down. Although he also wanted to use Uchiha to solve the problem. Uchiha clan Minaga Shrine. Uchiha Tihiro said proudly, "Even the Six Paths Sage acknowledges the power of the Sharingan." Uchiha Takuma was speechless. The Six Paths Sage was talking about the Sharingan of our ancestors, which has nothing to do with the Sharingan of the current clan. Hey, Takuma, don't say such discouraging words. The Sharingan is the most powerful eye technique in the current ninja world. They are both Sharingan, so why is there a difference between it and the one our ancestors gave us? On screen the Six Paths Sage looked into Ashura's eyes and said, "Ashura, you must work together with your two brothers to spread the bond of the ninja clan." Ashura's expression was somewhat solemn. "Father," the Sage of Six Paths reached out to grab Ashura. "Now, I want to entrust my power to you." After seeing this scene, Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth, his eyes full of greed. The power of the Sage of Six Paths? How naive. If Indra knew that Ashura inherited your power, he would probably be jealous and crazy, right? How could they work together to spread the bond of the ninja clan? Ninja World. Can the Sage of Six Paths still entrust his power to others? This time, Ashura will have the strength to inherit the ninja clan. How great would it be if I inherited this power? Then I could do whatever I want in the ninja world. Don't even mention whether Indra will be jealous of Ashura for inheriting this power. Even I am beginning to be jealous. If I hadn't seen Indra kill 2 of his followers, I would have thought that the Sage of 6 Paths was biased, so what if he was killed? Just like they said, this world should be ruled by the strong. The Sage of 6 Paths is very partial. Even if he only gives Indra a little power as compensation, it can win back Indra's heart that was broken by his decision. Indra killed 2 disciples of the ninja clan. The 6 Paths Sage will never tolerate this. Indra must know this, and he will definitely take action later. On screen Kanai was looking for Ashura everywhere. Hey, where did you go? Just then, there was a loud boom in the distance. Kanai turned her head and saw an extremely strong purple chakra coming out from the other side of the mountain. What is that? As soon as she finished her words, the purple chakra shot up into the sky and turned into a chakra ball that smashed towards the ninja clan at an extremely fast speed. With a bang, the purple chakra ball hit the ground, stirring up a huge cloud of dust that spread all around. The crowd, who were originally very lively, were almost blown away by the dust. After the smoke cleared, purple chakra-like flames appeared not far from Kanana. Ashura hurried to Kanai and supported her. Kana, are you okay? After seeing that Kanai was fine, Ashura and the 6 Paths Sage who ran out with him looked at the purple chakra not far away. Indra walked out slowly in the purple chakra. When Ashura saw it was him, he quickly ran forward. Nissan, the 6 Paths Sage followed closely behind and ran over. Chapter 108 The Power of Kaleidoscope. The 6 Paths Sage looked at Indra standing opposite him and asked, Indra, what's going on? Indra's slender figure, against a backdrop of purple chakra, looks like Ashura. Why? Why didn't you choose me as your successor? The 6 Paths Sage said solemnly, because I have already decided that the ninja clan should be led with love rather than force. Love. There is no need for love. During that trip, I wanted to share the suffering with the villagers just like Ashura. But in the end, the villagers relied on my strength, and the weak respected me as a king and craved for power. It's just because Ashura is still immature that he has to seek help from others, but I am different. I don't need the help of the weak. I can use this power to establish a complete order. Indra said this, clenched his fists, and said loudly, a perfect world without fighting. Just this last sentence brought back the hearts of many people in the ninja world. In the ninja world, there are more people supporting Indra than ever before, especially those who have suffered from war. For example, public opinion among the people of Rain Country has become completely one-sided. Indra is right. Before the fighting in this world disappears, there is no need for love. When there is no fighting, people in this world will naturally have love. The Sage of 6 Paths' view on the nature of this world is not as good as his son Indra. Can the Sharingan see things that the 6 Paths Sage can see? The 6 Paths Sage's samsara seems to be no more than that. The Uchiha clan of Konoha village are the most sober people in the ninja world, right? Because their Sharingan can see more of the truth. Not only is what Indra said right, but his action of killing his followers for power is also right. His starting point is to use his own power to establish a complete order. Sacrificing 2 disciples who followed him in exchange for a more powerful force to bring peace to the ninja world, it's all worth it. Ashura's love can't bring us peace at all, only Indra can. It seems that a mysterious man is also guiding Indra for the sake of peace in the ninja world. Indra, more mature than everyone of that time. But no one of that time understood him. He must have been very lonely, right? If Indra inherits the ninja clan, the suffering may only be for that generation. The future ninja world will surely usher in long-term peace because of this complete order. On screen the 6 Paths Sage said, that's just like my mother Kaguya. The stronger a person is, the more they cannot forget the hearts of people. People cannot move forward as fast as you do. For those who cannot move forward with you, unrestrained power is equal to terror. And people will not succumb to the rule of terror, then use force to make them surrender. Ashura looked at the 3 Magatama Sharingan in Indra's eyes, still trying to win back the gentle brother he once was. Don't be like this, Nissan. You were so kind and saved my life. Indra's figure was bathed in purple chakra, and he said calmly, Ashura, I am no longer the same as I was then. When he said this, he closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, the 3 Magatama in his eyes had turned into the shape of a kaleidoscope. There is no turning back. Pure Land Madara was startled. This kind of breath, when he opened the kaleidoscope, the aura on his body was not as strong as Indra's at this moment. Is it because of the bloodline? Even Madara is like this, not to mention the ninjas and ordinary people in the ninja world. This chakra. Such a strong sense of oppression. It reminds me of the battle between Emperor Kai and Madara. Is the Uchiha clan also so powerful? Then Konoha has not really taken any action this whole time? Otherwise, as long as there is an Uchiha who has activated the main Gekai of Sharingan, the troops of other ninja villages will not be able to stop him, right? How can it be so easy to open those eyes? The current Uchiha may not even have one. 3 Magatama is the best. Otherwise, if they had 1 or 2 clan members who opened the main Gekkai, the Uchiha would have unified the ninja world. I don't know which one is stronger, the main Gekai of Sharingan or the Rinnegan. It should be the Rinnegan, right? When asking this question, the man's tone was obviously uncertain. Uai Village Minaga Shrine Uchiha Takuma was shocked and said, "Is this the oppressive feeling brought by the main Gekkai? It turns out that Itachi didn't really fight with us at that time, otherwise wouldn't we be defeated by him very quickly? I am somewhat moved by those eyes. You can gain this power by killing someone close to you. No. Don't ever think like that. Getting lost in the power of the Sharingan will only harm the clan," the elder also said solemnly. "This kind of power obtained by the curse will lead the tribe members to go astray. The Uchiha will never tolerate it." If every Uchiha imitated Indra, he couldn't imagine such a scene. On screen the six-path sage was stunned. "Indra, your eyes," Indra told them expressionlessly how he opened his eyes. "Indra, you have fallen to this level, stop it. I don't want to fight with my brother." Indra ignored the six-path sage, but was full of disdain for Ashura's words. "Oh? Fighting with me? You've become more powerful, Ashura. Do you think you can be my opponent?" As soon as he finished speaking, a ball of lightning struck Ashura and six-path sage Ashura formed seals with his hands. A layer of swirling chakra enveloped him and the sage of six paths, easily blocking Indra's lightning release ninjutsu. Indra's expression was a little surprised at this time. He didn't know whether he was surprised that Ashura could block his attack so easily, or he was surprised that Ashura could actually remember the hand seal this time. Next moment a huge hurricane ball appeared in Ashura's hand, and several small hurricane balls emerged from it one after another. If he felt a little surprised just now, then Indra was really shocked at this moment. What? His younger brother could actually use such a technique. Ashura shouted and pushed the super hurricane ball in his hand towards Indra. Indra used the Amaterasu of his left eye and easily burned the super hurricane ball, but the several small hurricane balls inside still attacked him at an extremely fast speed. When the hurricane ball was about to hit Indra, a layer of purple skeleton appeared around him. After the smoke and dust cleared, Indra in the skeleton said calmly, "It looks a little better now, but this level of ability cannot defeat me." As Indra finished speaking, wings slowly grew out of Susanu's skeleton. Finally, a complete Susanu appeared in front of the two of them. Indra looked down at the two people below him from within the diamond-shaped crystal on Susanu's forehead. I got on. After saying this, Susanu slowly raised his left leg and stomped hard at the two men. This is power. Boom. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109 The Hope of Konoha Village. As Susanoo stepped down, the ground shattered and debris flew everywhere. The six-path sage and Ashura slid back several meters in embarrassment. After stabilizing his body, Ashura once again produced the super hurricane ball in his hand and threw it at Susanoo, but was chopped away by Susanoo. This kind of attack is completely useless against Susanoo. The next moment, Susanoo raised his fist and smashed towards Ashura. Ashura was blown away by the aftermath. Ninja world, this is totally merciless. Does Indra want to kill the six-path sage and Ashura? They are his only two relatives in this world. He is really beyond help, someone loudly retorted. Indra did this for his own ideals. When the ninja world is at peace, we will all benefit, but we are also the beneficiaries of the bond spread during the ninja sect period. Without the ninja sect we once loved, the ninjas in the ninja world are definitely a group of selfish, evil, and superior people with extraordinary powers. There will be no peace in the ninja world, only more people will experience pain. With an extreme personality like Indra, I will not believe him no matter how nice his words are. Yes, how do you know that the perfect order that Indra wants to establish will be as perfect as you expected? Ashura will definitely defeat Indra. He has not yet used the power given to him by the Sage of Six Paths. Even now, he is still showing mercy. On screen, the huge Susanoo walked up to Ashura and looked down at him. Ashura propped himself up and looked up at Susanoo at this time with a bang. A puff of smoke rose from Susanu's chest. Indra turned around and saw that all the shinobi clan members were gathered together, making different seals with their hands. The six-pathed sage pointed his scepter at Susanu. Everyone, unite! As soon as he finished speaking, all the ninja clan members used water and fire styles on Susanu. This force gathered together to form an extremely powerful ninjutsu that attacks Susanu. How dare you go against me? The purple Susanu drew the samurai sword from his waist and shattered the ninjutsu with one blow. Indra sneered. A bunch of incompetent rats. What can they do when they gather together? Father, let me break that fragile ideal you mentioned now. As he spoke, Susanu raised his samurai sword and slashed at the ninja clan members. It's over. Ashura saw this scene and yelled, Nissan, boom! The residual power of this sword spread directly to thousands of meters, splitting the ground in front of Susanu. A moment later, when the fog cleared, Indra's smug expression froze on his face. Below, Ashura was holding two black chakra sticks to block Susanu's sword at the same time. 6 Dao-seeking jades appeared behind him. Indra's face was full of disbelief. The power of the six paths? Did you inherit it? He nearly bit his teeth to pieces, and said unwillingly, damn it. A purple samurai sword also appeared in Susanu's left hand, and he chopped fiercely at the black stick. Ashura was forced to half kneel under the tremendous force, but he still gritted his teeth and held on. At this time, the six-pathed sage, who was protected by a black shield in the distance, said to the people around him, everyone, please lend a helping hand to Ashura. Everyone nodded, held each other's hands, and formed a circle. The chakra of everyone gathered into a light blue palm and patted Ashura's shoulder in a light blue space. Ashura turned around and looked at the six-pathed sage, who put his hand on his shoulder and asked doubtfully, Father. Ashura, chakra is the power of bonds that connect people's hearts. Ashura was stunned and looked around him. Everyone, I saw that the people of the ninja clan were holding hands and surrounding him. There were Taizo, Konae, and the referee who had been speaking for Indra. Back to reality, Ashura whispered softly, I feel everyone's power. Ashura raised his eyes firmly, and 4 chakra hands emerged from his body, holding up the Susanu samurai sword. At the same time, Indra was incredulous and said, what? Ashura clasped his hands together behind him. A gigantic Buddha statue with thousands of wooden hands rose from the ground. Pure Land Hashirama scratched his head. Isn't this move my true thousand hands? How come the ancestor also knows it? The corner of Ben's mouth twitched slightly. The wood escape technique used by Ashura apparently brought back some bad memories for him. Ninja World. This is the legendary wood release of the ninja god. It's even bigger than the giant used by Indra. I always feel that Emperor Kai and Madara are stronger. Madara in the future is no longer a human being, but Emperor Kai is a mortal who can stand shoulder to shoulder with gods. I think Indra and Ashura are stronger. Just look at the comparison. Ashura, who was given power by the Sage of Six Paths, should be at the same level as the future Naruto. But such a being still finds it difficult to resist Indra's attack, which shows how powerful Indra is. Such a scene is too shocking. Who would have thought that Indra had not used his full strength? I wonder if Indra has any other more powerful moves. Otherwise, I feel that his giant cannot defeat this Buddha statue. On screen, Indra looked up at the Buddha statue. How so? He gritted his teeth and controlled Susanu to rush towards the Buddha statue. Ashura also controlled the Buddha statue and rushed towards Indra. Nissan, Ashura, Indra roared, and Susanu's katana slashed at the Buddha statue. Ashura said loudly, this is the power of bond. As soon as he finished speaking, wooden hands attacked the purple Susanu, and Susanu was smashed to the ground without any resistance. Rumble, Susanu was inside, and Indra screamed in pain. Ugh! Ah! Ah! After seeing this scene, many places in the ninja world fell silent, and everyone couldn't help but widen their eyes and hold their breath until the smoke on the screen dissipated. Ninja world, what? This? I thought it would be a fight between two giants, punching and kicking each other, but the Buddha statue's fists were all fired out. How shameless. With this move, it won't be a problem to easily destroy a large ninja village, right? What a powerful ninjutsu. The wood release of the ninja god is indeed worthy of its reputation. I am always shocked every time I see a battle of this level. There are no such grand scenes in the movies. Moai village. After staring at each other for a while, the Anbu ninja couldn't help but patted Yamato's shoulder solemnly. Tenzo, you who possess wood release are the real hope of Konoha village. Yamato glanced at the Anbu around him and found that they were looking at him with piercing eyes. Yamato, Pure Land Band's face twitched wildly. What a familiar scene. On screen, when the smoke cleared, Indra struggled to stand up. Ahem. Ashura ran over worriedly. Nissan, Indra shouted, don't come over here. Chapter 110. The meaning of 3 lives and 3 worlds. Ashura stopped. Indra said exhaustedly, Ashura, I will never recognize the ninja sect. I will never recognize you. After saying this, lightning flashed from his body and his figure disappeared in a flash. Ashura whispered in disappointment, Nissan. At this time in the ninja world, there were many supporters of Indra and Ashura, and the discussion on this matter was extremely polarized, but not many people have complaints about Indra's ideas. What most people blame is that he became more extreme after killing 2 of his followers. Even if Indra is the final winner of this battle, no one will recognize him. The order during the ninja clan's time was not as complete as it is now. I don't know how chaotic it was then. It didn't matter if anyone recognized Indra or not. All he had to do was obey. What the shinobi clan lacked the most was hardliners like Indra. The Sage of 6 Paths wanted to use love to influence the world, but he has not succeeded yet. The number of ninjas with love is so small that it cannot be any smaller. History has long proved that the Sage of 6 Paths was wrong. In this case, if Indra came to change the world, there would definitely be a different result. Ashura must be very sad, right? He is still naively dreaming that he can win back his brother, but from the perspective of outsiders like us, this is simply impossible. On screen turn years later, bedside Ashura, Kana, and 3 children dressed in ninja clan clothes were guarding the bedside of the Sage of 6 Paths. Ashura, it seems that my lifespan is coming to an end, the middle-aged Ashura said worriedly. Father, Kana also said with concern. Father, the 3 children also shouted. Grandpa, the 6 Paths sage stared at the ceiling in a daze. I failed to guide this world correctly. Ashura choked up and said, that's not the case. From now on, my father's will be spread to more people through the ninja clan. The 6 Paths sage slowly closed his eyes, but I also left behind those who opposed it. Indra came last night in memory in a flash of lightning. Indra appeared in front of the bed of the 6 Paths sage. The 6 Paths sage with his eyes closed spoke. Indra, are you here to kill me? Indra said calmly, there is no need for me to do anything. I came here to let you see the future of the ninja clan, which is about to turn into hell. You have always been afraid of your grandmother's power. But you dare not look directly at this powerful power, and you can only avoid it blindly. You use love and bond as an excuse for sophistry. Your selfish misunderstanding will bring war and disaster to the future of the ninja clan. Until Ashura, his people, and the ninja clan are destroyed from this world, I will never stop fighting. To achieve this goal, my soul will be resurrected and fight countless times. Then, there was a flash of lightning and Indra disappeared. End of memories. The 6 Paths sage stretched out his old hand and said guiltily, I'm sorry. Ashura held the hand of the 6 Paths sage and said firmly, Father, please rest assured. Since my brother's soul will be resurrected countless times, then my soul will also be resurrected countless times. The 6 Paths sage spoke with difficulty. Ashura, the future of this world is entrusted to you and your descendants. After saying this, he tilted his head to one side and died completely. The room was filled with cries of pain. Father, father, grandfather, Master Haguramo, Pure Land Izuna exclaimed. Brother, how is this possible? Quan Naru rubbed his eyes vigorously. Did I see it right just now? How come that middle-aged ancestor looks so much like my eldest brother? No, it can't be. Izuna didn't know what he was thinking about, and his face suddenly turned pale. Is his elder brother the reincarnation of the ancestor? Then who is the reincarnation of Ashura? Is it that guy? A silly figure appeared in Izuna's mind. He said with a complicated expression, Brother, should I call you ancestor or brother? Tobirama was thoughtful. It's just as I thought. Hoshirama was greatly shocked. No wonder I could always feel a strange chakra in my body when I was alive. It turned out that it was the soul of Ashura ancestor possessed in me. Madara had an expression that said, as expected, Hasi Lama and I are the reincarnations of our 2 ancestors. No wonder I felt that guy deserved a beating when he was a kid, especially the battle between Susanoo and the Buddha. It seemed like the cycle of fate, the third life. Will it be Naruto and Sasuke? This is an easy guess, and Ban guessed it almost immediately. Whether it is the Senju of the forest or the Uzumaki clan, they are all descendants of Ashura's ancestor, so it is natural that Naruto may also become the reincarnation of Ashura. So, the hand that future Sasuke gave was broken by Nanlu Doyong's true 1,000 hands. Ninja world, I actually witnessed the death of the 6 Paths sage. This life has not been lived in vain. It's not a wasted life. But why do you look so excited? I see. This is what 3 lives 3 worlds means. This means that Ashura and Indra have been reincarnated countless times, but the live broadcast will only show 3 reincarnations. The first reincarnation has come to an end. This period of history on the screen is like a movie. Although it is not as long as a real movie, it has many thought-provoking aspects. Indra's transformation into this state is closely related to the mysterious man, but I always feel that it was the Sage of Six Paths who forced him into this state. Then you should also look at what Indra has done to the Sage of Six Paths. To put it simply, the Sage of Six Paths did not give his things to his outstanding eldest son, but gave them to his mediocre younger son. As a result, the eldest son was dissatisfied and wanted to destroy the things and the Sage of Six Paths ideals. How can you treat your son like this? Which of Indra's talents, identity, and status was not given by the Sage of Six Paths? He has become like this just because you did not inherit the ninja clan. Is he worthy of the Sage of Six Paths? That's true, but that's also because the Six Path Sage gave Indra the hope of inheriting the ninja clan, but he didn't do it in the end, which led to this result. It doesn't matter who is right or wrong. What matters is who can bring peace to the ninja world. The Sage of Six Paths and Ashura failed, so I think if it's Indra, he will succeed. On screen final scene, the voice of the Six Path Sage came, just as Indra announced. The fight between the two has never stopped, it is long and endless. In the picture, Indra appeared standing there alone with a samurai sword on his back, while opposite him, behind Ashura, stood the people of the ninja clan. This was repeated over and over again, and in those wars, hatred led to greater hatred, swelling to an uncontrollable level. The battle continued even after the death of Ashura and Indra, and their souls were reincarnated several times. Their descendants are Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha, and the current Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. I firmly believe that these two people can find the most authentic answer to the long-standing relationship between ninjas. Chapter 111, Hashirama and Madara. The entire ninja world was in an uproar because of the words of the Six Path Sage in the ninja world. Exclamations were heard everywhere. The god of ninja and the Ashura of the ninja world, as well as Naruto and Sasuke, are the reincarnations of Indra and Ashura. Then aren't Naruto and Sasuke enemies? How can they be enemies? They seem to have a very good relationship. They are in the same class, so their bond must be very deep. Yes, didn't the Sage of Six Paths also say that Naruto and Sasuke will find the answer to this long-standing karma? Prove that the reincarnation of Indra and Ashura may end with Naruto and Sasuke. Oh my god. Fortunately, this big secret is known to the whole ninja world. Otherwise, if I was the only one who knew it, I would definitely be silenced. I'm so anxious. I want to see the story of Naruto and Sasuke. I'm not curious at all about the god of ninja and the Ashura of the ninja world. No matter how the process goes, in the end the god of ninja is no match for Uchiha Madara. We've seen this on the screen before. Moon Kaguya was still there, feeling sad alone. Perhaps it was because he saw his son die, or perhaps it was because she heard Indra calling her grandmother. It was the first time she heard someone call her grandma, and it felt wonderful. Kaguya made a secret decision in her heart. After the seal is lifted, I will hear the name grandma enough. Pure Land. Kushina looked dazed. Naruto? He is actually the reincarnation of Ashura. Kushina rubbed her face hard with both hands, trying to calm herself down, but it didn't work. She and Minato gave birth to an ancestor. Could Minato be the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths? Minato's heart was also pounding, but after all, he had been Hokage for several years, so the shock was not written on his face. I'm afraid that no one would be at peace if they knew that their son was the reincarnation of the Six Path Sage's son. Madara sighed in disappointment. In the end, the Moon Eye plan was not mentioned by the Six Path Sage. In that case, the story between Hashirama and I will always include something about the Eye of the Moon. Right. Naturally he was happy to see this given his personality. How could he take the initiative to explain his plan to others? This is a good opportunity to let those people in the ninja world see that he is against the ninja world just for the Moon Eye. I believe that once people in the ninja world know about the Moon Eye, he will definitely have a lot of supporters. Rain Country. Naruto nearly popped his eyes out. Am I the reincarnation of the old Ajuro? Tendo pain suppressed the shock in his heart. Konan looked at Naruto and felt a strange feeling in her heart. It was as if Ashura had emerged from the screen and appeared before her. Fire Nation. Itachi had mixed emotions. Sasuke is indeed the reincarnation of our ancestor. He had made some guesses before, because the future strength of Madara, Naruto and Sasuke would be too powerful and obviously not belong to the category of normal ninjas. When he thought of the title, he naturally thought of Naruto and Sasuke. I didn't expect it to be. In the ninja world, there are not many people who have already thought of this, but they are not too few. For example, Shikoku also thought of this. Moai village Hokage building. Midamanen suppressed the shock in his eyes, looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and asked, Hiruzen, what do you think about this matter? Sarutobi Hiruzen took out tobacco from his pocket and put it into his pipe, then slowly said, "Little Sasuke will be one of the most important forces in the ninja world in the future. No one in this village can be without him. It is still unknown whether little Naruto can be found. As for Naruto's affairs, we can only trust Itachi, but the village must take Sasuke seriously and must not let anything happen to Sasuke." Kaoru frowned and said, "Even if Sasuke kills Danzo? I'm afraid that when he becomes powerful, he will be too lawless. In the end, only Naruto can stop him, so we also have to discuss this matter with the Uchiha and guide Sasuke well. We must never let Sasuke become as extreme as Indra." I believe Uchiha would not want to see such a scene. As he said this, Sarutobi Hiruzen lit his pipe, and suddenly a bold idea popped up in his mind. "Uchiha clan land!" Sasuke exclaimed out loud. "How can I be the reincarnation of Indra? Is this why I am so annoyed with Naruto?" Minaga shrine except for Fugaku, who still looked as if his whole worldview had been overturned. The rest of the Uchiha had recovered from their shock. No wonder Lord Sasuke will be so powerful in the future. Sasuke-sama was able to awaken the Magatama Samsara. It must be related to the ancestor Indra, right? Sasuke-sama is indeed the hope of the clan. He is actually the reincarnation of that person. I believe that with his talent and the careful training of the clan, he will soon surpass Itachi. Lower right corner of the screen, Qiu Li, who had finished her meal long ago, opened the homepage, found the next video and clicked on it. Since you have watched Ina, there is no reason not to watch Madara, Hashirama and Naruto and Sasuke. The screen lit up again. Title: Hashirama and Madara, Ninja World. Finally, we have the Shura of the Ninja World and the God of Ninja. Great. This will surely expose Uchiha Madara's conspiracy, right? Even if Ninja Shura eventually becomes a villain who does all kinds of evil, he might not have been like that when he was a child. I'm really curious about what he went through to fall into darkness. It should be because those eyes have awakened, right? It would be nice if the screen showed him wetting the bed. Don't do that. Madara will definitely come out early and destroy the ninja world. Naruto and Sasuke haven't grown up yet. On screen, papa. After 3 sounds, the skipping stone fell into the river. The young Madara picked up another stone. This time, I must throw it to the other side. He tossed the stone in his hand and was about to throw it out when a stone flew past his ear with a whoosh. Clap, clap, clap. The stone caused a splash and was finally washed over to the other side. Remember to lift it up slightly when throwing it. This is the trick. Madara looked at the strange boy behind him with an unhappy look. Of course I know this little thing. As long as I throw it seriously, I will definitely hide it. By the way, who are you? The young Hashirama said seriously. Now, at this moment, I am your opponent. I threw it to the other side. Madara frowned, stared at Hashirama, and raised his voice slightly. I asked who you are. My name is Hashirama, and I cannot tell you my last name for some reason. Madara clenched the stone in his hand and got into position. Hashirama? Look carefully. This time we will succeed. After saying that, Madara struck a pose and threw the stone. After seeing this scene, Hashirama's pupils shocked. This hand gesture is just as I expected. It's shuriken jutsu. After 3 sounds, the stone slid on the water surface for a distance and then sank into the river. Hashirama was speechless. Madara still kept throwing the stone, petrified on the spot. Chapter 112 makes me feel strange. Ninja World Puff, aren't you quite confident? Even our ninja god is stunned. Ha. You know what? After seeing Madara in the future, and then looking at his current friendly attitude, I actually feel flattered. These two were quite cute when they were young, although one of them turned bad in the future. Isn't the contrast too great? Where is my domineering Madara? How come he can't even skip stones on water? Pure Land Izone couldn't help but hold his forehead. It's so shameful, so shameful. It's such a disgrace in front of the Senju clan. Big Brother doesn't seem to be as smart as this Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama only told Big Brother his name, not his surname. But Big Brother seemed to be stupid and easily exposed the Uchiha Shuriken technique in front of outsiders. However, since Izone knew that his elder brother was fine, he naturally would not worry too much about the thrilling events that had happened in the past. Izuna rubbed his chin and thought, it's just a simple action of throwing a stone. Senju Hashirama may not be able to guess that my brother is a member of the Uchiha clan. On the other side, Hashirama laughed, ha. Madara had his back to me at that time. I didn't expect his expression to be so funny, and over there on Ben. After a moment of silence, Madara used his Rinnegan to look at himself, who was petrified on the screen. I've learned how to skip stones, Hashirama. This kind of thing will never happen again. Just like him and Hashirama, They can never go back to the way they were before on screen. Madara yelled at Hashirama, "You bastard. You deliberately stood behind me to distract me, right?" This sudden scene startled Hashirama. Madara continued to yell, "I am a very sensitive person. I can't pee when someone stands behind me." Hashirama instantly fell into depression. "Sorry." Madara kept pointing his finger at Hashirama. For a moment his tone began to slow down. "I say, there is no need for you to be so disappointed, right?" Seeing that Hashirama was still hugging his knees pitifully, a drop of sweat slid down his face. He covered his forehead with his hands and said speechlessly, "I'm sorry. I should have argued with him." This scene really caused quite a stir in the ninja world. Ban is so reasonable. I suddenly discovered a charm of this person. He actually apologized on his own initiative? Am I seeing right? Is this the Shura of the ninja world who was kicked by Emperor Kai? It's fake. Absolutely fake. How can you cast an illusion during a live broadcast? I immediately fell in love with this reasonable boy. This seems to be similar to put down the butcher knife and become a Buddha instantly. The impression Madara previously gave people was that of a powerful, cold, domineering villain. As a result, the live broadcast revealed a side of him that was unknown to the public. Ha, he actually knows that he is making excuses. He is the Shura of the ninja world, a godlike powerful being. How could he have such a weakness that someone can't pee just because they stand behind him? The god of ninja realm was so cute when he was little. Especially when he looks so depressed. Madara's tsundere look is actually very cute, but when I think about him becoming a disaster for the entire ninja world in the future, oh, the Sharingan is really a cursed bloodline limit. On screen he really don't know. At this point, Hashirama, who was hugging his knees, raised his head and said, "You still have such a disgusting self-conscious symptom." Ban immediately got angry. "I really don't understand whether you are a good person or a rude person." Hashirama stood up at once and laughed triumphantly. Ha, I'm better at skipping stones than you are, that's clear." Madara pointed at Hashirama and said angrily, "Believe it or not, I will throw you into the water." After being scolded by him, Hashirama fell into depression again. "I didn't mean to make you angry. As an apology, I'd better be prepared to be thrown into the river." "You throw it." Madara put his hands on his hips and said in a tone of disappointment, Don't you know how annoying your problem is?" Hashirama looked up at Madara and said in a gloomy tone, "But, I hope you can throw it to the other side." Ninja World PFFT, this is like stabbing a knife into Madara's heart. The god of ninja was so sinister when he was a kid. Ha, it looks so cute, but when you cut it open it's black. Is this the first time they met? Two people from the hostile Great Ninja Clan met here and later became good friends. The story has become interesting. The two of them are much more interesting than the story of Indra and Azura. The previous story was too heavy. Come on, it's just that the two of them are interesting to get along with. The Warring States period was much more chaotic than the Ninja Clan period. Yes, I heard that at that time all children had to go to the battlefield, and the average life expectancy of ninjas was only around 30 years old. I don't know how Madara managed to survive into the future. Could it be the ability of his Sharingan? You mean, Madara might have awakened the ability to live forever? The Sharingan's ability is so powerful. On screen after hearing Hashirama's complaints, Madara exploded. "What an eyesore. Get out of here." Hashirama stood up quickly and waved his hand, saying, "I'm leaving." Madara was furious and grabbed Hashirama's shoulders. "Stop." He was told to go aside and then to stay, which made Hashirama speechless. "What's going on? Can you think it through first?" Ban suddenly withdrew his hand, hesitating a little. Ban hesitated to speak just then. A corpse floated on the river, that is. Hashirama walked on the river surface and ran quickly towards the corpse. Seeing this scene, Madara's pupils contracted and his eyes were complicated. "Are you a ninja?" As if Hashirama didn't hear what Madara said, his face was solemn. "This is about to become a battlefield, let's go back quickly." Hashirama looked at the pattern printed on the ninja's shoulder armor. This is the pattern of the Feathered Clan. The Haguramo clan is also the enemy of the Senju. Hashirama said in a somewhat anxious tone, "Sorry, I have to go." After saying that, Hashirama jumped to the other side of the river. Goodbye. Having said this, he was about to leave, but seemed to have thought of something, and turned back and said hesitantly, My name is Ban Spot. Don't tell your surname to strangers." "This is the rule of ninjas," Hashirama said thoughtfully. "You are indeed a ninja." Ninja World. This movie is about Madara and Hashirama. From the beginning, I can tell that this must be a great story. There's plenty of suspense. The history of our ninja world is a very fascinating story. Pure Land. The smile on Hashirama's face gradually disappeared because in this battle, His 7-year-old brother, Wajin, died. There wasn't even a complete corpse. Tobirama looked at Hashirama on the screen with a complicated feeling. Has Big Brother met Madara since this time? Brother, the smart you on the screen feels strange to me. At this moment, the one who felt even more complicated than Tobirama was Senju Batsuma. Senju Batsuken murmured to himself, the reincarnation of our ancestor, the first Hokage who founded the Konoha ninja village. His eldest son was even more amazing than he had imagined. Chapter 113 Cruelty. In the divine space, Obito perked up. Since he was traveling in the ninja world under the name of Madara, he naturally had to pretend to be more authentic, so he wanted to thoroughly study Madara's experiences from childhood to adulthood, his personality changes, etc. Only in this way can he avoid being exposed. The premise is that the live broadcast does not expose him too early. Rain Country Conan saw that Naruto's big eyes revealed curiosity and he was staring at the screen without blinking, as if his attention had been diverted a long time ago. Zianan, whose mood had just calmed down, couldn't help but sigh in her heart that Naruto was really a thick-skinned person. It's good to be heartless. At least you don't have so many worries. This is the savior who can save them all. But he was lost by Konoha? She could even foresee what kind of turmoil would be in the ninja world once the people in it knew that Naruto had been kidnapped. On screen turn. A coffin was placed into the pit by the ninja accompanied by a burst of crying. The scene shifted to the 4 people of Senju. Banjin sobbed quietly and kept wiping away his tears. Hashirama stared at the coffin with dull eyes between tiles. His younger brother, died. Senju Fushima sternly rebuked, ninjas cannot cry. Ninjas live to die in battle. We should be thankful that we can recover part of the remains. After all, this time, the enemy includes not only the Yuga clan but also the Uchiha clan, who are always cruel and ruthless. After hearing this, the Uchiha of Nanga Shrine went crazy. Members of various tribes expressed their dissatisfaction. What Kai and Xiao Fujin said is too shameless. The Uchiha killed the children of the Senju clan and was cruel, but what about the Senju killing the children of the Uchiha clan? At that time, you killed my people and I killed yours. As long as we took up arms, we were enemies. Since we were enemies, how could he have the nerve to accuse a clan of being cruel? And how could he have the nerve to call himself the Thousand Hands of Love? On screen Hashirama was trembling all over. He clenched his fists tightly and asked loudly, Warrior is only 7 years old. When will this kind of war end? Kai and Xiao Buddha said calmly, until all enemies are eliminated. Creating a world without war requires a difficult process. Hashirama had a sullen face and asked in a low voice, even if it means sacrificing the child? After hearing these words, Senju Batsuma instantly became furious and punched Hashirama in the face. This punch directly knocked Hashirama off balance, and he sat on the ground. He shouted angrily, I won't allow you to insult Koirama. He died gloriously as a capable ninja. He is not some child. Hashirama covered his face and looked at him with eyes full of defiance. Thousand-handed Buddha snorted coldly and turned away. Atama looked at Hashirama with concern and asked, Hashirama-san, are you okay? Tobirama also said softly, don't you know what will happen if you contradict your father? Hashirama looked at his 2 younger brothers who were so close to him, and his eyes gradually became firm. Itama, Tobirama. I don't want you to die in vain. Hashirama gritted his teeth and stood up, facing the back of Senju Fusuma, and shouted hoarsely, what beloved Senju clan? What independent ninja? Isn't this just the adults teaming up to force a child to death? What we did is exactly the same as Uchiha? Jinsho Buddha was silent for a moment, then turned his head and said, this is respect for the enemy. Even if it is a baby, as long as he holds a weapon, he must be regarded as an enemy. Raising your child to be an independent ninja is the true love of a parent. Hashirama loudly retorted, if you want to be independent, is there only one way to go? Death, kill. Be killed. I don't even know when I will be hated. Because it is too dangerous, I can't even introduce myself. This ninja world is absolutely wrong. The Senju Batsuma became angrier as he listened, especially when Hashirama shouted the last sentence. He raised his fist and rushed towards Hashirama. So you are just a little devil. Just when he was about to rush in front of Hashirama, Tobirama opened his arms to block Hashirama. Father, Thousand-handed Buddha stopped with his fist raised. Tobirama whispered, my brother is in a bad mood today, please forgive him. Thousand-handed Buddha was stunned when he saw the expressions of his 3 children. Tobirama protected Itama and Hashirama behind him with a determined look on his face. Hashirama's face was full of stubbornness. Itama looked at him with eyes full of fear. Thousand-handed Buddha put down his fist and sighed softly. Go calm down, Hashirama. Ninja world, even after 3 wars, things are much better than those cruel times. We must thank the god of ninja for ending the chaotic times and establishing the ninja village. As a pioneer of the times, his achievements are unmatched by anyone else. Hashirama's younger brother Tobirama is the second Hokage, right? Then Hashirama's other brother Itama, it seems he didn't live to see the founding of the village. Actually, what Hashirama's father said was not wrong. It's just that Hashirama is too kind. The ninjas of the Warring States period may have long been numb to things like killing children, that's true, but because of this passage, my impression of the Senju clan has changed. Just like what Hashirama said, although they have a good reputation, they are no different from the Uchiha clan. Although the story clearly belongs to Madara and Hashirama, Tobirama stole the show. The way he opened his arms and protected Hashirama behind him made many people feel a little favorable towards him. Tobirama seems to be very calm in the face of things. He doesn't have the weakness of a younger brother, nor the impulsiveness of an older brother. I can't see any sadness about his brother's death from this child. Is he hiding it too well? Just like their father said, ninjas can't cry and live to die in battle. Tobirama just lived the way his father wanted, right? From the fact that Tobirama stood in front of Hashirama, we can tell that he is not a cold-hearted person. He is not unsad about his brother's death, he probably just didn't show it. Hashirama was really brave when he was little. He dared to talk back after getting hit so hard. If it wasn't for Tobirama, he would have been beaten badly by his own father. Pure Land Izuna's eyes drooped and he looked a little depressed. Senju Hashirama, for some reason, he inexplicably felt a sense of approval for Hashirama during this period. Perhaps he also thought of his three younger brothers who had died on screen. Wait until Thousand-Handed Buddha leaves. Hashirama and Itama sat on the tree stump, and Tobirama crossed his arms and said, "You adults are all fools. If you want to end the war, can't you just sign an agreement with the enemy and stop fighting?" Banjian turned around and said, "But if we do this, wouldn't the parents, brothers, and companions who were killed have died in vain?" Tobirama said to Itama sternly, "If you say something like this again, you will die. You and the adults are too impulsive." Chapter 114, The Earth is Falling. It's not clear if Itama understood what Tobirama meant, but he still whispered, "Sorry." Tobirama then continued, "In the future, ninjas only need to suppress their emotions, set strict rules, and abide by them to avoid unnecessary fights." Hashirama sat cross-legged on the ground, his hands on his knees, somewhat lost in thought. A real agreement, alliance, is it really impossible to achieve? Ninja World. Tobirama is truly outstanding. He is so young, yet he has seen the essence of these things so thoroughly. Tobirama is such a pessimist. His brother Senju Itama will definitely die in the end. As soon as the man finished speaking, he saw on the screen that the young Senju Itama had been surrounded by 5 Uchiha clan members. Although they knew that the period was extremely cruel, many people still felt nervous when they actually saw it with their own eyes. After all, there is a difference between hearing about it and seeing it with your own eyes. Many people in the ninja world have already felt Itama's despair at this moment on screen. Banjian's face was filled with fear, his whole body was shaking, and tears kept streaming down his cheeks. Next scene, by the time Hashirama arrived, Itama was already lying in a pool of blood. Hashirama collapsed and hugged Itama's body, crying bitterly. Ninja World. After a moment of silence, someone finally spoke. "I seem to understand why live broadcasts are so engaging. Maybe they want us all to understand each other. Yes, I can say lightly that killing children was normal during the Warring States period, but after seeing the death of Itama, I truly understand how heavy this matter is. The Uchiha clan is so despicable. How can you blame the Uchiha clan for something like this? Many of their children have died at the hands of the Senju clan." "Right, that's true." On screen, Hashirama was sitting alone by the stream when he heard footsteps behind him. "Hey, long time no see. Your name is?" Hashirama said in a hoarse voice. "Hashirama," Madara asked curiously. "Hashirama, what's wrong? Why are you so depressed today? Why are you asking this?" "I'm fine." Madara put his hands on his hips and stood behind Hashirama. "Who are you kidding? Why don't you tell me?" "Fine, okay, go ahead." "No. It's really okay." Ben bent down and said softly, "Okay, stop being stubborn. I told you to just say it." Hashirama lowered his head. "It's really alright. Nothing happened." After saying that, he turned his head and looked at Madara with tears and snot streaming down his face. Ben immediately got angry and pointed at him and shouted, "Just say it when I told you to." After he finished shouting, he saw Hashirama with tears streaming down his face. Madara's tone unconsciously slowed down a lot. "What's wrong?" Hashirama wiped his tears with his sleeves and choked up. "My brother is dead. The reason I came here is because looking at this river, the entanglements in my heart seem to be washed away. That's it. Your name is Madara, right? I guess you may feel the same way." Do you have any brothers or sisters? There are 5 children in my family. As he said this, Ben bent down and picked up a stone. Once Hoshirama was startled, and could not help but turn his head to look at Madara and asked, before, Madara said, "We are ninjas, and we don't know when we will die. If there is any way to ensure that we will not die, it is to be honest with the enemy, not to hide anything from each other, and to become sworn brothers. But this is impossible, because the human heart is unpredictable, and no one can see through the heart of others." After saying this, Madara threw the stone in his hand. Perhaps the other party is burning with anger. Hoshirama stared at Madara blankly, and after a moment, he asked, "Is it really impossible to be honest with each other? I don't know, but I often think about it here, hoping to find a solution." This was the first time that Ben threw a stone across the river. "This time, I seem to have finally found the right direction. Not only you, I also threw it over." Hoshirama stood up, shocked because no one has ever understood his thoughts, but Madara's thoughts coincide with his. Like him, Madara is also a silly kid who wants to change this war-torn era. It turns out that he was not the only one who had this idea. Ninja World. My impression of Madara changed a lot in an instant. In order to comfort Hoshirama, he even mentioned his own sad story. Madara is a little warm this time. As expected, Madara also lost 3 younger brothers. In Madara's opinion, only by being honest with the enemy and becoming sworn brothers can a ninja live to the end of his life. How cruel was that period? From this heart-to-heart talk, Madara and Hoshirama will establish a deep friendship. Right, what an interesting development. The eldest sons of 2 rival great ninja clans have become good friends. On screen, Madara looked Hoshirama up and down and said, "Even if I can't see your heart, I know that you..." "What?" Madara said to Hoshirama. "Whether it's the hairstyle or the clothes, they're all tacky." Hoshirama fell into depression. Pure Land. When Tobirama saw this, a very strange thought arose in his mind. It's probably a kind of, how can a hedgehog spirit have the nerve to say that a mushroom spirit is so unsophisticated? Tobirama looked at Madara's hedgehog head on the screen and curled his lips. "It's so earthy. It's so earthy. It's falling apart." On screen after this incident, Hoshirama and Madara became closer without knowing each other's last name. The two practiced together in the scene. Hoshirama and Madara punched each other in the face. Hoshirama slid several meters behind him, but Madara was knocked to the ground. Madara sat up and wiped the corner of his mouth. "Your taijutsu and moves are not simple, are they? You can even fight me to draw." Hoshirama pointed at Madara, who was sitting on the ground, and said, "No. It's not a draw. I'm still standing." As soon as he finished speaking, a stone hit him on the head and knocked him to the ground. "It hurts." Madara looked at Hoshirama lying on the ground with his arms and legs spread out, and asked proudly, "What did you say? Isn't this a draw?" Hoshirama, who was lying on the ground, asked, "When did you?" Madara laughed loudly and said, "I threw it out the moment you hit me. I'm not that easy to deal with." Ninja World. I thought Madara was just being stubborn, but that rock really slapped me in the face. What a terrifying throwing technique. From this we can see that Hoshirama's taijutsu is stronger than Madara's. I guess the two of us should develop in a certain way, that is, you awaken the Sharingan, and I fuse the wood release. You will be strong for a while, and I will be strong for a while. On screen after the sparring, the two sat on a big rock, and Ben picked up the bamboo tube and started to gulp water into his mouth. Hoshirama asked, "But, what should we do to change the current situation? We must have a plan for the future." After drinking the water, Ben put down the bamboo tube, crossed his arms, lowered his head and thought, "First of all, I need to strengthen this belief, and then I have to make myself stronger. It is useless for the weak to bark loudly." Hoshirama agreed. "Yes. If we can master various ninjutsu and become powerful, the adults can no longer ignore our opinions." Madara stood up and said, "That is to say, we must overcome the ninjutsu and weaknesses that we are not good at." After saying this, he jumped off the stone, turned back and said confidently to Hoshirama, "But in this regard, I no longer have any so-called weaknesses." Pure Land. Ben was horrified. No way. If he remembers correctly, that time he drank too much water, and then. Chapter 115. Water Escape. Hoshirama seemed to be remembering that day and couldn't help but chuckle. "Ha ha ha. Madara, the whole ninja world should know your weakness." Ninja World. What Madara said is true, especially the future him. He doesn't look like a person with weaknesses. I think the future Naruto and Sasuke must be much stronger than Madara to defeat him. How can we defeat a man who can't even be killed by Yukai's kicks if we don't use our strength to crush him? However, there was a rustling sound coming from the screen. Many girls in the ninja world covered their eyes out of shyness. In the ninja world, someone sighed. The sound of water is really loud. It's great to be young. Some people panicked. Oh no. Will we be silenced by Madara? On screen a relieved expression just appeared on Ban's face, but at a certain moment, the rustling sound suddenly stopped, and a few beads of sweat the size of beans appeared on Ban's face behind him. Hoshirama smirked and said, "Did you really stop?" Madara yelled at him, "I told you, don't stand behind me." Hoshirama pointed at him and said contemptuously, "I found a weakness." Ban turned around and said angrily, "Do you believe me? I will throw you into the river where I just peed." Hoshirama turned and ran. Madara was chasing closely behind. "Try my water escape technique." Hoshirama fled quickly, shouting, "It's so dirty. Don't throw it away." In the end, the two of them fell into the river where Madara had just urinated. Pure Land. Madara's face turned pale and red, especially when he thought that this scene would be seen by everyone in the ninja world. For a moment, he suddenly didn't want to be resurrected so much. Uchiha Tajima's face twitched. Izuna looked at this scene with an expression of disbelief. "Nissen, do you actually have this side of you, chasing people while peeing, and shouting, 'Try my water escape technique'?" Izuna patted his chest and breathed a sigh of relief. "Fine." Fortunately, the distance of the picture was far enough that he couldn't see the ninja tools his elder brother used when he used water jutsu, although he ended up falling into the river where he had just urinated. Tobirama raised his eyebrows and gave his approval. As expected of the Madara lord that the people of the other world call him, he actually developed such a powerful water-style ninjutsu. Hoshirama scratched his head. "I just recalled this detail now. I was so nervous when he chased me that I didn't notice. How can Madara urinate so well?" He was chased by Madara using water escape technique for several rounds. Many people in the ninja world have also discovered this. Oh my god, is Madara made of urine? And he took so long to pee? It's unbelievable, haha. Hoshirama is so mean. I like him so much. When Hoshirama said it really stopped, I knew that Madara's weakness was actually real. I don't think the future Madara is necessarily weaker than Naruto and Sasuke. He was actually attacked from behind, so he failed. Compared to Indra when he was a child, Madara is much more down-to-earth. Fire Nation Muai Village. Several people in the Hokage building looked at each other. The first generation of adults were really naughty when they were young, not to mention the people in the ninja world. Even the two elders of Konoha Village have greatly changed their views on Uchiha Madara. The ninjas of Konoha Village were also discussing with each other. In my impression, Madara is a very difficult person to talk to. I never thought he would actually have this side. Madara is the kind of person who is hard to talk to. Only the first generation can see this side of him. For ordinary ninjas like them, Madara is a high and mighty existence that they need to look up to. Except for the god of ninja, no one is worthy of joking and playing with him. Especially with the blessing of the inherent concept of Indra's reincarnation. But because of this part on the screen, Madara's high-class image that people looked up to suddenly fell into the quagmire and their hearts and their eyes at this moment. Regardless of his strength, wasn't Madara also a funny guy who would urinate at people when he was a child? They even lacked the proper respect for this down-to-earth Shura of the ninja world. Uchiha Clan Minaga Shrine. The Uchiha Clan members stared at each other in amazement. They were all a little dumbfounded. Real or fake? No way? Would Madara-sama really do something like this when he was a child? When the elder heard the tribe members' doubts, the domineering figure of Madara emerged in his mind. He couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth. This is unbelievable. On screen Madara folded his arms, waiting there with an impatient look on his face. A moment later, Hoshirama ran over quickly. "Motor. I thought of a super powerful ninjutsu. Let's practice it together." Madara still had no expression and asked, "What ninjutsu?" While forming seals in front of him, Hoshirama said seriously, "Secret of physical technique. Super fire style illusion / large shuriken 2-stage technique." Madara was somewhat speechless and said, "This. I can't imagine it. Speaking of which, is this move a physical technique or a jinjutsu?" "No. First of all, this name is ridiculous. Who can remember it? Ninja world, what kind of technique is this? Is it really possible? The secret of physical skills, fire escape, illusion, shuriken technique. This technique is incredible. The person who can come up with this name is even more amazing. Pure Land." The way Minato looked at Hoshirama was as if he was looking at a close friend. "This technique sounds really cool." Tobirama curled his lips and said, "Ki, I knew that Big Brother would return to that state again. This is what his big brother should be like. As for those times when I was occasionally mean-spirited, he doubted his eldest brother's wisdom, and the less he used, the less he had it as a consumable." On screen Hoshirama wanted to explain the principle of this technique, but was interrupted impatiently by Madara. "Shut up. Today's competition is vertical climbing. After being scolded by Madara, Hashirama instantly fell into depression. Madara put one hand on his waist and pointed with the other hand at Hashirama, who was hugging his calves and burying his face in his knees, and said, "Don't be so depressed all the time. This is your weakness." Hashirama raised his head and said with a wicked smile, "Your weakness is that you always think I am this kind of person." "What?" Hashirama stood up and said, "I deliberately let you think this is my weakness." And then, with a swish, Hashirama took the lead and ran towards the top of the cliff. Vertical climbing, you bastard. Madara followed closely behind Ninja World. Ha. Ashura, your reincarnation really does you proud. How many times has this made Madara furious? It's still interesting to see Madara and Hashirama's daily interactions. The Senju clan's affairs are too depressing. I really hope they can spend more time together. Fire Nation Muai Village. Why does this cliff look so familiar? Because this is the Konoha village that hasn't been built yet. The cliff they are on is the location of Shadow Rock. Some ninjas had tears in their eyes, although they couldn't tell what kind of feeling it was. The excitement in their hearts could not be suppressed at all on screen. The two of them sat down on the top of the cliff. Panting, Hashirama said proudly, "I won, of course, because you got ahead of the game." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116 Exposed. The two of them gasped and looked down at the cliff. Hashirama said, "From here you can overlook the entire forest." Ben also said with emotion, "I can see clearly even from a distance." After he finished speaking, he asked again, "I'm definitely not inferior to you in eyesight. Do you want to compete?" Hashirama was stunned and asked, "Why did you suddenly think of this? It seems that you are very confident in your eyesight." Madara smiled and said, "Of course, I did write it." When he said this, he paused and slowly lowered his head. Hashirama asked, "What's wrong?" Ben was disappointed. "No. After thinking about it, I'm not that powerful." Hashirama asked with a smile, "What are you talking about? Why are you suddenly so obedient?" Madara stared at the ground, looking a little depressed. "If I were really that powerful, my brothers wouldn't have died. I couldn't even save them, so what am I? What am I?" When Hashirama looked at Madara beside him, he was also a little absent-minded spot. At this moment, Hashirama recalled the scene of him crying while holding it in his body. The atmosphere between the two gradually became sad. Madara suddenly said, "Sorry, I seem to have reminded you of the past." Hashirama asked, "I said, your brothers are gone now." "No, there is another younger brother." At this point, Madara grabbed the rock on the ground tightly and said, "No matter what happens, I will protect this brother." "Where's your brother?" Hashirama's eyes became firm. "There is one more person. I also intend to protect my brother at all costs." Ninja World. Hashirama hasn't figured out Madara is an Uchiha yet. It feels like he did it on purpose, right? In fact, he already knew about it and was just playing dumb. No need to think about it. As a member of the Senju clan, they must be very sensitive about topics like throwing techniques and eyesight. Hashirama is just pretending. That's right, Hashirama is pretending not to know because he doesn't want to give up his friendship with Madara. On screen, Hashirama said loudly, "It's decided." Madara was stunned and looked at him. Hashirama opened his arms. "Let's build a village of our own here. In this village, children don't have to fight each other. A school will be built to train them so that they can grow up stronger. Everyone can choose tasks based on their personal abilities and strengths, and there must be a superior who can reasonably distinguish the levels of tasks. A village where children don't have to be sent to the front line to risk their lives." Listening to Hashirama talking about his ideals, Madara laughed and said, "You are the only one who would say such stupid things." Hashirama asked, "What do you think?" "Not bad, that's settled then," Madara said with a determined look. "If this village is really built, I will protect my brother well in this place where I can overlook the entire forest." Pure Land Izuna had a complicated expression. "Although you said, brother, that in order to protect something, you have to sacrifice something, even if that person is a brother, but at that time, you must have been very sad." "Right." The insidious Senju Tobirama sneezed. His mood was actually a bit complicated. From Madara's perspective, what I did was indeed abominable, and difficult to forgive, but the battle between Uchiha Izuna and I is a life and death one. Uchiha Izuna has the Sharingan. If I can't catch him by surprise, it will be difficult for me to defeat him. In addition, the two tribes had a long-standing grudge and were mortal enemies. Should he consider Madara's feelings after losing his brother? As for why I feel so complicated now, it was entirely because of the sense of immersion on the screen that he understood how much Madara cared about his younger brother. Ninja World. Perhaps people at that time thought that this kind of ideal was something only a fool would say, right? Is the current ninja village system modeled after Hashirama's ideas? Hashirama is a true genius, much stronger than Ashura. On screen the two men stood on the opposite bank of the river, and with two snap sounds, they both held the stones in their hands at the same time. We threw them all to the other side. Madara looked at the stone in his hand and said to Hashirama, "This stone is very suitable for skipping stones. Please keep it for me until the next time we meet." On the way back, Hashirama kept looking down at the stone in his hand. After walking for a while, he seemed to sense something. Sure enough, as soon as he raised his head, he saw Tobirama walking towards him. "What's wrong, Tobirama, brother? I have something to tell you." Ninja World. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling. Me too. No matter what happens, nothing will go smoothly. Hashirama and Madara's meeting must have been discovered by the Senju clan. That's terrible. From our perspective, they are brothers in their previous lives and good friends who recognize each other. But from the perspective of the Senju clan, the Senju and Uchiha are enemies. Hashirama's behavior is like that of a traitor. Something's going to happen. As they expected, the fact that Hashirama and Madara met frequently was exposed on screen. The Senju clan Senju Butsuma asked seriously, "Hashirama, you often meet a young man, right?" Hashirama was stunned for a moment and asked, "How do you know?" Tobirama beside him explained, "My father ordered me to keep an eye on you. In terms of perception, I am ahead of you." Hearing Tobirama's words, Hashirama turned his head away angrily. Kayan Shao Buddha said slowly, "You have been going out a lot recently. I think there must be a reason. I investigated that boy." At this point, he stared at Hashirama. "He is a member of the Uchiha clan, and has killed an adult with extraordinary skills in our clan. It is said that he is a young man who is born with the talent of a ninja." Kayan Shao Buddha asked, "You are not surprised? Have you already known each other's last names?" Hashirama quickly said, "No, I don't know. I guess that guy, Hashirama." Kayan Shao Buddha interrupted solemnly, "You should understand what this means. The Senju clan and the Uchiha clan are enemies. I haven't told the Senju clan members yet. Once it's leaked, you will be regarded as a traitor. If you don't want to be seen as a spy, follow the boy next time you meet him and bring back information about the Uchiha clan. This is your mission. If he finds you, kill him." The last sentence of Senju Butsuma made Hashirama's pupils suddenly tighten. Ninja World. Some people who really like to watch Hashirama and Madara get along looked dissatisfied. How could Tobirama be like this? He even told his own brother's secret. "You are speaking from your own perspective. If it were you, how would you view the fact that your eldest brother has close ties with the enemy? That's what a normal person would do, right?" As for Madara and Hashirama, it should be the reincarnation of Ashura and Indra that is influencing them. Otherwise, are your friends more important or are your relatives and clan members more important? Looking at Hashirama's expression, he really guessed that Madara is a member of the Uchiha clan. Hashirama must be feeling very conflicted and in pain right now, right? Sigh. Chapter 117 Tacit Understanding. Was Madara so outstanding when he was young? He killed an adult of the Senju clan, and his skills were extraordinary. He is worthy of being the reincarnation of Indra. This is definitely inseparable from Madara's own efforts. Don't deny his efforts with a simple statement that he is the reincarnation of Indra. Why are you still speaking for Uchiha, Madara? From your words, I can't sense the hostility that should be felt towards a villain. Sorry. I was just so immersed in the plot that I forgot that he would be a disaster for the entire ninja world in the future. Then how strong is Hashirama? His father said that Madara was so excellent, but he still believed in his heart that Hashirama could kill Madara. This shows that he is more confident in Hashirama's strength. On screen Hashirama clenched his fists. Wait, is he really a member of the Uchiha clan? Senju Fujin said, "That's right. If you reveal the identity of the Senju clan, he will steal the information of the Senju clan. You can't trust him." "No, he won't," Kayan Shao Buddha said in a serious tone. "It was his people who killed your brother. Do you believe him? No one knows what the boy's intentions are. If you are deceived, you will put the Senju clan in danger. Just in case, Tobirama and I will follow you. Do you understand?" Senju Butsuma looked at the silent Hashirama and asked, "What's your answer?" Hashirama whispered, "I understand." In the ninja world, someone who was caught up in the plot shouted, "Oh no! Madara is in danger." The person next to him said speechlessly, If Madara really died so easily, there would be no crisis in the future of the ninja world, eh? That's right. If he gets into danger, it's not a bad thing for us. Why should I worry about him? I can only say that the Madara on the screen and the future villain of the ninja world look like two completely different people. It's true that it's easy for people to like Madara on the screen. Maybe it's because he doesn't have the arrogance of Indra, and he hopes for peace in the ninja world just like Hashirama. When he was little, he hoped for peace in the ninja world and wanted to protect his brother. How come he became like that when he grew up? I am getting more and more curious about Madara's experience. On screen Hashirama and Madara stood on either side of the stream and said with no unusual expression, "Let's get started, let's say hello with the water first." After saying that, they both took out the stones they had prepared long ago and threw them towards the other side with a pop sound. The two men grabbed the stones thrown by each other, and looked at the stones in their hands tacitly. The two of them were startled at the same time. Madara waved his hand and said, "Hashirama, I'm sorry we can't play together today. I suddenly remembered that I have something to do. Is that so? Then I will go back today." The scene turned to the stone that Hashirama was holding, and two words were clearly engraved on it: "Turn quickly." And on the stone in Madara's hand, there were 5 words engraved: "There's a trap, run." With a swish sound, the two of them ran towards the back. Senjubatsuma, who was hiding behind a tree, said, "So fast. Are you trying to escape? This guy, Hashirama, actually leaked the secret. Let's go." Tobirama, "Yes," and the other side. As Madara was running back, 2 figures flashed by with a swish. He was startled, stopped suddenly and turned around. The same thing happened to Hashirama over there on the river. 4 people faced each other. Uchiha Tajima said, "It seems that we have the same idea." Senjubatsuma, Izuna on the side stared at Tobirama, and Tobirama, Thousand Hands Buddha said, "Yes." Uchiha Tajima, Tobirama beside him drew out the sword on his back, and Izuna. For a moment, the atmosphere was tense. Ninja world. It turns out that the Uchiha also discovered Madara and Hashirama. What a coincidence! The Uchiha clan and the Senju clan actually have the same idea. Hashirama and Madara have such a good chemistry. They both thought of using stones to remind each other to run away. Alice, I'm afraid I'll never see Madara and Hashirama interacting with each other on a daily basis again. Hashirama should have guessed that Madara was an Uchiha but wasn't sure. And Madara should have had the same guess. On screen, the 4 of them rushed towards each other at the same time. Hashirama and Madara shouted, "Stop!" but no one paid any attention to them. With 2 ding-ding sounds, the 4 people's swords and kunai collided with each other on screen. The voice of the future Hashirama was heard. Senjubatsuma and Uchiha Tajima are of similar strength. After several battles, both sides understand this. Ninjas are trained to stay calm no matter what happens on the battlefield. A moment of panic will create a flaw, which will determine life or death. However, the 2 adults knew very well that once their children were killed, they would inevitably feel a little shaken. That is to say, the one who succeeds first can decide the outcome. When the future Hashirama told this story, the fighting Uchiha Tajima and Senjubatsuma simultaneously threw their weapons at each other's children. At this moment, a ding sound was heard, and 2 stones knocked away the weapons flying towards Izuna and Tobirama. Izuna and Tobirama were startled. Not far away Hashirama kept throwing stones, and Madara did the same on the other side. Both of them were covered in cold sweat just now. Their brother was almost killed. Madara and Hashirama flashed and stood in front of their younger brother. Madara stared at Hashirama in front of him and said, "I will never forgive anyone who tries to hurt my brother." "Me too." The 2 looked at each other in this tense atmosphere. Madara spoke again. "Hashirama, how? Those silly beautiful futures we talked about may not be achievable in the end. Although the time was short, I was really happy." "Hashirama," Uchiha Tajima said, 3 on 3. He asked again, "How is it? Is it okay?" Madara said solemnly, "No, Hashirama is stronger than me. If we fight head-on, we will lose." Izuna was stunned, and unconsciously lowered the knife in his hand. "A child who is more powerful than his brother," Uchiha Tajima said. "Really? You have such strength?" "Retreat." Madara glanced at Hashirama and said, "Goodbye." Hashirama looked at Madara's back and said loudly, "Madara. Actually, you haven't given up, right? You have the same idea as me." Madara interrupted in a deep voice, "You are from the Thousand Hands. If possible, I really hope that we have different ideas. My brother was killed by the Senju clan. And your brother died at the hands of the Uchiha clan, so there is no need for us to be honest with each other. From now on, we will meet on the battlefield." Senju Hashirama, I am. At this point, a Magatama appeared in Madara's eyes, and he turned back to look at Hashirama and said, Uchiha Madara. In the Pure Land Izuna looked gloomy. I was too young at the time to understand what this meant, so, he was in a happy mood at that time. He was glad that his elder brother had opened those eyes because he had lost something important. Chapter 118 Confused. In the ninja world, since this microfilm, many people have developed a liking for that tsundere boy Madara. Many people believe that Madara on the screen is a flesh and blood person, not just a future villain in the ninja world. The Madara they saw was kind and gentle, so they believe that even if Madara would become a disaster to the ninja world in the future, there was a reason for it, and his starting point was not necessarily what the people in the ninja world thought. Will they become enemies? Yes, because this is fate. Only when Naruto and Sasuke come together will this cause and effect be ended. The voice of the future Hashirama was heard just now. So this movie-like story is Hashirama's memories? Is he telling others the story of him and Madara? Indra opened his Sharingan because he lost the dog that had been with him since he was a child, and Madara lost a bond with Hashirama. It would be more appropriate to say that he abandoned her. Look at Hashirama's expression on the screen. Doesn't he look like a poor girlfriend who is cruelly broken up with by a scumbag? Hiss. In the ninja world, what most people discuss is still fighting. It was clearly just a normal fight, but it made me sweat profusely. This is a normal ninja fight, with thrills, excitement, and calculations. The slightest carelessness will lead to the risk of death. It's not like my 1,000 hands hitting you, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack around you, but you still survived. Those existences are simply outrageous. Far away Izuna exclaimed, Look! Father! My brother's eyes, Uchiha Tajima said with a smile. Although we didn't get any information about the Senju, we did get another good thing. Senju Butsu's pupils contracted. Sharingan? Did it just open? Muai Village Uchiha Clan Minaga Shrine. Madara-sama is Madara-sama. Just a Magatama alone makes the leader of the Senju clan so fearful. Isn't it that the Senju clan leader is afraid of Madara-sama, who will grow up in the future? The people of that era were so cold-hearted. Even though there were wars all year round, the probability of awakening the Sharingan was even lower than it is now. Although Madara-sama is not very old, he is not young either. He made the Tajima clan leader so happy just by activating a single Magatama. Uchiha Chihiro said thoughtfully, I seem to have a deeper understanding of how to improve the power of the Sharingan. Uchiha Takuma teased, you don't want to keep a dog anymore? Are you planning to keep a first-generation one? Uchiha Chihiro snorted, with your wisdom, you can only see this much? No. I'm just looking at this from your perspective. The rest of the Uchiha clan members ignored the two people belittling each other's IQ and continued to discuss the fact that Madara had just opened his Sharingan at such an age. Fugaku couldn't help but cough twice, trying to find a sense of existence among his tribesmen. After all, his eldest son had double Magatama when he awakened at the age of 8. His second son awakened the single Magatama at the age of 6. One of the tribesmen glanced at Fugaku, then chose to ignore Itachi and said, Sasuke-sama, the reincarnation of Indra, is still the best. He awakened the blood limit of the tribe at the age of 6, which is several years earlier than Madara-sama. Sasuke-sama's future strength will definitely be the strongest in the ninja world, after the story of Madara-sama and the first generation is over. We can see Sasuke-sama, the story of Indra and Ashura is the memory of the Sage of Six Paths. The story of Madara-sama and the first generation is the memory of the first generation. Then whose memory are Naruto and Sasuke-sama? Could it be that Sasuke-sama or Naruto in the future is telling others about the past? On screen when Hashirama and Madara met again, they weren't already on the battlefield. It is unknown how long the battle between the two lasted. Scenes of the two men fighting flash by day after day, year after year. Many years later, both of them became patriarchs of each other's families. With a ding sound, the blades in the hands of the two men collided. Several logs emerged from under Hashirama's feet and attacked Madara. But Madara dodged them by jumping backwards. Not far away, there was a fight between the two younger brothers. Izuna raised her knife and stabbed at Tobirama, but Tobirama deflected her attack with his knife. 3 Magatama appeared in Izuna's eyes. Tobirama knew that he could not look directly into the Sharingan, so he quickly closed his eyes. Of course, Izuna would not miss such a good opportunity. She kneed Tobirama in the abdomen and then knocked Tobirama away with a punch. Izuna took advantage of the victory and spurted out fireballs from his mouth. Art fire escape hole fireball seals between the hands. Water style, water dragon bullet technique. The fireball collided with a water dragon, making a hissing sound, and a thick fog quickly emerged in the air and attacked the surroundings. Several kunai appeared in Tobira's hand and he threw them at Izuna. Izuna tilted her head slightly to avoid a shuriken. The corner of his mouth curled up in disdain. A mindless attack? Curse your unfortunate fate of not having the Sharingan. Just when he was distracted, he suddenly sensed that there was something wrong with the chakra on one of the kunai. The curve of Izuna's mouth froze for a moment, but it's too late. Flying Thunder God Slash. Tobira's figure holding a knife pierced through Izuna's body. Izuna, who was standing in place, coughed up a mouthful of blood. Madara, who was not far away, hurried over and supported him. Izuna vomited another pool of blood. Cheer up. I will definitely save you. Just as Madara was helping Izuna to leave, Hoshirama appeared in front of the two men, raised his sword and pointed it at them. A drop of sweat slid down Madara's cheek, and he said solemnly, Hoshirama. After seeing this scene in Ninja World, because his brother was seriously injured, Madara was upset. The two should have been evenly matched in strength before. If they continue to fight, Hoshirama will definitely be able to defeat Madara. No wonder the future Hoshirama told Sasuke that he looked like Madara's younger brother. The grown-up Izuna is indeed very similar to Sasuke. Tobira's move was too unexpected. Is this a ninjutsu he developed himself? I remember that when Yellow Flash attacked the masked man Madara, he used Flying Thunder God Stage 2. Looking at their miserable appearance, it is obvious that they have been fighting for a long time. In other words, Tobira has been looking for an opportunity to use this technique. For a moment, the man didn't know whether to say that Tobira had a high combat IQ or that he was cunning. As for Hoshirama standing in front of Madara, few people in the ninja world believe that Hoshirama wanted to take the opportunity to kill Madara. The leader of the Uchiha clan really on screen. Hoshirama said, Madara, you can't defeat me. After saying that, he stuck the knife in his hand into the ground. Madara and Tobira were stunned. Hoshirama said in a deep voice, let's put an end to this. As long as the strongest Uchiha and Senju in the ninja world join forces, the countries will not be able to find other families that can compete with us, and the disputes will gradually subside. As he said this, he extended his own hand towards Madara. Bring it on. Madara stared at Hoshirama blankly, feeling a little moved. Ending the fighting in the ninja world has also always been his ideal. Madara recalled the scene of himself and Hoshirama playing skipping stones on water when he was young. Just as he took a step, he heard Izuna's voice. No. Nissan. Madara then remembered that Izuna was seriously injured at the moment. Izuna endured the pain from the wound and looked up at Hoshirama. Don't be fooled by him, everyone. The Uchiha clan members were killed by them. Have you forgotten? Chapter 119 Susanoo vs. Wooden Man. Madara glanced around. The ground was littered with corpses of Uchiha clan members. After seeing this scene, he took out a spherical object hidden in his chest and smashed it on the ground with a bang. Smoke spread everywhere. When the smoke cleared, Madara and Izuna were nowhere to be seen. At this moment, the voice of the future Hoshirama was heard on the screen. Anyone can see at a glance that the Uchiha clan is at a disadvantage in the battle. Afterwards, some even began to surrender to the Senju, and at this moment, Madara also changed. He obtained the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan on the screen. As Hoshirama told this story, scenes flashed by, starting with the scene of some Uchiha clan members surrendering and ending with the scene of Izuna's death. The last scene is when Madara put on Izuna's eyes, and the kaleidoscope turned into a completely new pattern. Muai Village Minaga Shrine. One of the tribesmen exclaimed, what? Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? Could it be that Mangekyo isn't the end of the Sharingan? Even our ancestor Indra, who possessed the Mangekyo, was so powerful. How powerful is Lord Madara, who has raised his Sharingan to a higher level? Alice. The tribesmen who surrendered at that time all thought that the game was over, right? None of them could have imagined that Madara-sama would actually get a pair of even more powerful eyes. Those clansmen who surrendered are a disgrace to the Uchiha? Don't say that. Among the current tribesmen, maybe someone is the descendant of those people. This is so embarrassing. How can an Uchiha hold his head up in front of those villagers in the future? Upon hearing this, the rest of the tribesmen no longer cared about being shocked by the eternal eye inside. Since this scene has been seen by everyone, we can only learn from Mr. Kai and be strong-hearted. Otherwise, you can't silence them, right? It's actually nothing. How many people can die rather than surrender? Not to mention the Uchiha, the Senju people can't do it either, right? Yes, on the battlefield, Lord Madara only took away his severely injured brother, but left so many exhausted tribesmen there. If they wanted to survive, they had no choice but to surrender. Pure Land. After seeing those clansmen surrender, Uchiha Tajima was furious and shouted, you useless people. You actually surrendered to the Senju? You have brought shame to Uchiha? No matter what, he believed that there were only Uchiha who died in battle, and no one who surrendered in his opinion. Those tribesmen who surrendered had lost their faith after a moment. He sighed again. It was because that thousand-armed boy was too powerful. Although his Madara was very competitive, he was obviously no match for that thousand-armed boy at that time. Perhaps the only thing that could comfort him was that Madara's strength was growing rapidly. Uchiha Tajima had complicated thoughts in his heart. Although Izuna died, it was worth it because it could help Madara become stronger. On screen, Madara led the remaining Uchiha clan members towards Hashirama and the Senju clan members standing at the front. Hashirama looked at Madara and asked, "Your eyes?" Tobirama beside him asked, "What happened to Izuna?" Madara said expressionlessly, "My brother died because he was seriously injured last time. In order to protect the Uchiha, he left his power to me." Hashirama said in a serious tone, "I have already sent the document of the truce agreement. If you really want to protect the Uchiha, you should end this kind of fighting." A powerful chakra burst out from Madara's body, and a blue skeleton appeared around him. Then, a layer of skin wrapped around the skeleton. Hashirama Susanoo raised his fist and punched it in the direction of Hashirama. Hashirama made a seal with his hands. Would release. The flower and tree world arrives. 3 vines emerged from the ground and bound Susanoo's blue fist, stopping Madara's movements. Then, several huge vines emerged from all around Susanoo and attacked Madara's Susanoo. Madara controlled Susanoo to punch the 2 vines aside, and was then submerged by countless vines. Then, red flowers bloomed on the vines, and the pollen inside submerged the spots as Madara controlled Susanoo to take 2 steps. Susanoo couldn't control itself and knelt down on one knee. "Is pollen poisonous?" At this time, Hashirama said, "Stop, Madara. There is no point in continuing to fight." After hearing what he said, Madara straightened up regardless of the influence of the pollen. "No point? Then why did Izuna die?" Hashirama lowered his head sadly. Madara continued, "Because you." At this point, he almost lost his mind and shouted, "Because you killed him." As his voice fell, Susanoo slowly grew wings and its body began to grow taller. He used the complete form of Susanoo. Madara looked down at Hashirama and Tobirama, who were not even as tall as Susa's ankles. Hashirama made a seal with his hands. The art of the wooden man. Boom! A wooden man who was no shorter than the complete form of Susanoo appeared in front of Susanoo. Madara controlled Susanoo and rushed towards Hashirama. Hashirama Susanoo's palm collided with the wooden man's palm. Making a bang sound, the wooden dragon on the wooden man's shoulder attacked Susanoo, but was knocked away by Susanoo with one punch. Ninja World. Finally, something I like to watch. 2 giants fighting. This battle may not seem as intense as the one between Indra and Ajuro, but it is equally shocking. The size of the wooden man is so huge. Why didn't Hashirama use it before? Otherwise, he would have defeated the Uchiha long ago. Hashirama's ability is too unstoppable. The vine attack is already difficult enough, and the poison in the pollen is even used as an aid. This is the wood release of the ninja god. It really lives up to its reputation. At this time, Hashirama's strength is quite strong. How did Madara fight Hashirama on equal terms before he fused the Eternal Eye? Given Hashirama's personality, he'll probably give in to Madara, right? Impossible. This must be a coincidence. It should be that Madara fused his brother's eyes, and Hashirama just happened to develop a powerful wood release ninjutsu. After all, his own people are still fighting with the Uchiha people. If he still showed mercy to Madara in the battle, it would be a bit unreasonable. Madara lost the only person in the world he wanted to protect. Perhaps this is why he fell into darkness and wanted to destroy the ninja world. No. This is definitely not the reason why Madara became a disaster to the ninja world. He later founded Konoha together with the Senju, but this is definitely the biggest reason why Madara holds a grudge against Konoha and the Senju. Izuna is Madara's last brother, and he has said more than once that he wants to protect this brother. Pure Land. Izuna's eyes were dim. He saw firsthand how much his big brother cared about him. The screen did not show his elder brother's reaction after his death, but one can imagine how sad he was at that time, since it was the eldest brother and Senju who established a village together in the end. It means that his last words, Senju can't be trusted, only prolonged the time of the fight between Senju and Uchiha. Chapter 120, The Establishment of Konoha Village. On screen, after another loud bang, 3 wooden dragons emerged from the smoke and attacked Susanoo. When the smoke cleared, Hashirama was stunned. Susanoo was seen holding the 3 giant dragons tightly in his hands, and swung them hard, and the wooden man was also thrown out with a loud bang. The wooden man's body crashed onto the top of a hill. Susanoo drew the huge samurai sword from his waist and walked slowly towards the wooden man. Hashirama said in a deep voice, "Madara. We were friends. We had the same dream, Madara asked loudly. Hashirama. How long are you going to keep repeating these childish words? Susanoo walked up to the wooden man and the two looked at each other for a moment, then Susanoo raised the samurai sword in his hand and chopped it down at the wooden man. It is impossible to be honest with each other. Hashirama's eyes darkened. Madara controlled Susanoo and slashed it down with a sword. Hashirama also controlled the wooden man and punched the samurai sword. Boom! This was the final attack of the two men, and it was extremely powerful. When everything calmed down, a huge hole was left in a radius of 1 kilometer. The voice of the future Hashirama was heard on the screen again. The fierce battle lasted for a whole day, and finally Madara fell to the ground. In the picture Madara was lying on the ground. Hashirama was half kneeling beside him, breathing heavily at this moment. Tobirama and a group of Senju clan members also rushed over and surrounded the fallen Madara. Pure Land. Uchiha Tajima looked at this scene in disbelief. Madara was defeated? How is that possible? Although Hashirama Senju is very powerful, his Madara has eyes that are more advanced than the main Gekyo. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. His son was undoubtedly the most powerful Uchiha of all time, but the Uchiha under his command were defeated by the Senju ninja world in the end. Hashirama won. I suspect that Hashirama has always been this strong, he just hasn't done anything serious yet. Wood release is too powerful. Not only can he create a wooden figure as big as Madara's blue giant, but the countless wooden vines on the ground can also serve as his aids. Hashirama's wood release is too unfair. Perhaps only those who have fought him know how powerful he is. Hashirama's chakra is very huge. He can create favorable terrain for himself on the battlefield. It seems that it is not unfair for Madara, who has the eternal eye, to be defeated. I thought that in the end both of them would collapse from exhaustion. Without the strongest fighting power of the two clan leaders, the Senju clan would finally defeat the Uchiha clan. I never thought that Madara would be defeated directly by Hashirama. Rain Country Kokuzu held a handful of banknotes in his hand and stared blankly at Hashirama on the screen, forgetting even to count the money. Is this the Senju Hashirama who I once fought against? On screen Tobirama walked up to Madara, raised the knife in his hand and was about to stab him. Ben, it's over. Wait, Tobirama. Tobirama frowned, turned around and asked, why? Big brother. Now is a good opportunity. At this moment, Hashirama's expression was terribly gloomy. He looked at Tobirama and said in a deep voice, don't attack. Madara, lying on the ground, knew that Hashirama wanted to show mercy to him, but he was unwilling to accept it. Give me a quick death, Hashirama. It would be a worthy death for me to die in your hands, Hashirama said to him slowly. Stop showing off. If we kill you, the clan leader, the Uchiha youths who follow you will rise up again, Madara said in a somewhat exhausted tone. Uchiha? There are no such backbone people anymore, Hashirama retorted. No. There must be. Even if there is not now, there will be in the future. I say, let's end this fight. Didn't we agree to build our ideal village in the future? Can we really not just skip things like before? Looking at Hashirama who looked a little sad, Madara said, this is unrealistic. I am no longer the same as you. Now, I don't even have a brother. I don't have anything to protect me. Besides, I don't believe you. Hashirama looked at Madara and asked softly, what do you have to do to make you trust us? Madara, who was lying on the ground, turned his eyes to Tobirama. If you want us to be honest with each other, then you should kill your brother now, or commit suicide in front of me, and that will make us even. Only then can I trust your clan. The Senju tribe member standing by asked loudly and dissatisfiedly, kill your brother or commit suicide. Don't talk nonsense, you. Hashirama closed his eyes and reached out to interrupt what they were about to say next. Tobirama frowned and said, my opinion is the same as theirs. It's just nonsense. After that, he asked Zyujin, what are you going to do? Big brother. Kill me? Or are you going to commit suicide just because of this guy's nonsense? This is ridiculous. Ignore him. Big brother. Hashirama opened his eyes and seemed to have made up his mind. He stood up and untied the red armor on his body. The red armor fell to the ground with a loud bang. Thank you, Madara. You are indeed a man who values friendship. As he said this, he took out a kunai, looked at Tobirama and said, Madara gave me the power to choose. I don't have to kill my brother. He also understands the feeling of being a brother. Listen up, Tobirama. Remember what I said as my last words. This is what I paid for with my life. Other tribesmen should remember it. At this point, he pointed the kunai at his abdomen and said seriously, after I die, you must not kill Madara. From now on, no fighting between Uchiha and Senju is allowed. In the name of your father and the grandchildren you have yet to meet, swear to obey. After saying this, he closed his eyes. tears streaming down his cheeks, and prepared to commit seppuku farewell. Seeing that he really stabbed him in the stomach, Tobirama's eyelids twitched wildly. He wanted to step forward to stop it, but he was one step too late. Madara grabbed Hashirama's wrist and said, "That's enough." Then, he slowly said, "I understand your true meaning." Fire Nation Tsunade's mind was unable to wrap around the question for a moment. Grandfather wanted to commit suicide with a kunai. How did he kill himself with a kunai? Ninja World. Madara was still moved by Hashirama's words. Hashirama is indeed the reincarnation of Ashura. He actually wanted to commit suicide to eliminate the hatred in Madara's heart. But in the end, he really achieved his desired goal. Madara really does hate Tobirama. Who asked Tobirama to kill his brother? Hatred is normal. I guess Madara sincerely wanted Tobirama to die, but he gave Hashirama the choice and asked him to commit suicide just to test Hashirama's sincerity. I have the same feeling. Hashirama was serious about committing suicide, but Madara was fake about wanting him to commit suicide. Hashirama cared about this childhood friend very much, and Madara also couldn't let go of Hashirama. On the screen the voice of the future Hashirama sounded. It was like a dream. Uchiha and Senju have joined forces. There won't be so many sacrifices, and there won't be so many innocent children dying, so we started from scratch and began to build a village. In the picture Konoha village started out as a forest and gradually had houses. Gradually, more and more houses were built. After that, we joined forces with the Fire Nation and began to build a peaceful country where villages and countries coexist equally. In short, everything seems like a dream. Ninja World. I probably understand Hashirama's feelings at the time. When my wife agreed to marry me, I also felt like I was dreaming. Chapter 121 Desire. Why does Hashirama sound so happy when he says this? Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Sarutobi Hirozen took a puff of his pipe. This is how Konoha Village was founded. It started as a forest and gradually developed into a village. It can be seen that the first generation should have been very happy at the time, but unfortunately, the final result was not so good. Shikaku looked at the screen and saw Madara and Hashirama standing on the top of the cliff overlooking the area with faint smiles on their faces. I couldn't help but sigh. How incredible was this scene to the people at that time? How incredible is it? It is just like now two young men suddenly appear and say they want to end the fighting in the ninja world. People think they are overestimating their own abilities, but in the end they'll really end the fighting in the ninja world and bring peace to the ninja world. The people in the ninja world are as close as a family, living in harmony and working together to resist invasions from other planets. Although there was still a war and it became much larger in scale, they actually did it with their own strength. Ninja world great. We can see Hashirama and Madara's daily interactions again. Hashirama did what Ashura didn't do. That's amazing. That's because Madara and Indra are different, so Hashirama can do it. If Madara was replaced by Indra, he might really let Hashirama commit seppuku, and the Senju clan would have to swear not to kill Madara. After Hashirama's death, wouldn't the Senju clan be at Madara's mercy? The story isn't over yet. Don't forget that Madara will become a crisis to the ninja world. That's right. I thought that after the war, Madara and Hashirama reconciled, led the two ninja clans to end the war in the Land of Fire, and established a ninja village that could protect everyone. This is the end of the story. I forgot that Madara and Hashirama would eventually return to their original destiny. On screen, the newly built Konoha village was peaceful and the streets were filled with shops. Hashirama walked down the street and people passing by bowed to him. When passing by a flower shop, a little girl handed him a bouquet of flowers. Yujian took it, put it to his nose and smelled it, then reached out and rubbed the top of the little girl's head. The picture is peaceful and beautiful. Just at this moment, Madara walked over and saw the scene. The scene changed and they were walking side by side as a result. The little girl who handed the flowers to Hashirama fell to the ground because she ran too fast. Madara quickly ran over to the little girl and helped her up. When the little girl looked up and saw Madara's serious face in the shadow, she was startled and subconsciously shrank back. A bean-sized drop of sweat slid down the back of Ban's head. When Hashirama saw this scene, he couldn't help laughing. The little girl looked like she was about to cry. Hashirama walked forward and handed the bouquet of flowers to the little girl. The little girl took the flowers, bowed gently to the two of them, and ran towards a street. There were gentle smiles on the corners of Hashirama and Madara's mouths. Ninja world, someone said infatuatedly. Now this gentle band has been included in my list of candidates for the male protagonist of the bedtime story. Someone looked envious. This little girl is really something. She was actually scared like this? This is the gentle Madara. Besides Hashirama, who else has enjoyed this treatment? If I could be helped up by Madara with a gentle look on his face, and the sleeve he helped me with. No. I won't wash the whole dress anymore, I'll just keep it as a collection, it's so heartwarming. It would be great if it could always be this beautiful. I admit that I have developed a fondness for the Madara on this screen, but this should only be temporary. When he does something excessive to the ninja world, I will continue to hate him. Today is my birthday. My birthday wish is that Madara will no longer be a disaster to the ninja world in the future, but will become gentle again and will protect this ninja world together with everyone in the future. In a village somewhere, two young men sitting on a stone pier were talking. Why did you come out? Didn't you say you would watch the live broadcast at home today? My mom asked me why I screamed like a girl just now. I said it was because Madara was so handsome and I couldn't help myself. Then she drove me out in disgust. Your mother is so short-sighted. Madara is so handsome, Alice. What a pity. It's a pity that Madara ended up standing against the entire ninja world on screen. Hashirama and Madara stood on top of the cliff. Hashirama said, do you remember what we said here when we were little? If you want to build a village, the breeze blew, and the leaves were blown away. Ban reached out and grabbed a leaf that was bitten by insects and said, I thought it was just a dream. As long as you work hard, there is nothing you can't do. But Hashirama said, from now on, dreams will become reality. Then he asked, the ninja leader who guards the land of fire in the shadows is called Kage. How is he? What are you talking about? The Fire Nation requires us to elect representatives for the village. Hashirama said, I want you to be the village chief and become the Kage. Your brothers are gone, but I hope you can treat the ninjas in the village as your brothers. I hope you can protect everyone well, Madara said calmly. I couldn't even protect my Uchiha brothers. Hashirama looked at Madara, and his mind recalled his two dead brothers, as well as the image of Madara comforting him then. Tobirama used the flying thunder god slash to seriously injure Izuna, and Madara lost his only loved one. Recalling this, Hashirama encouraged, there is no time to back down now. Because in addition to the Uchiha and Senju clans, the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan also want to join us. Ben was stunned, and asked in disbelief, really? Are you kidding? Fire Nation Muai Village. Although the Uchiha clan has made changes, I still don't like the Uchiha clan very much, but Madara is an exception. If he were to become Hokage, I might be conflicted, because as a villager of Konoha, I really want to see what it would be like for Madara, who has gentleness written all over his face, to become Hokage. The first Hokage is the best Hokage. The first Hokage of Konoha can only be Hashirama Senju. As for the second Hokage, he is also a good Hokage. In order to protect the new sprouts of the village, he would rather sacrifice himself and made so many contributions to Konoha. If Madara becomes Hokage, it seems that the only thing he can do is to protect Konoha with his strength. His achievements are definitely not as good as those of the second Hokage. That may not be the case. The Madara on the screen has good intentions towards Konoha. He regards the people of Konoha as his own. If you let him become the Hokage, guess how he will treat outsiders? I'm afraid the other four major nations will be overwhelmed. The first war in the ninja world will be initiated by Konoha. In that case, how can there be the second and third wars later? That makes sense. With Madara's personality, if he becomes Hokage, he might really be able to overwhelm the other great nations. I already have a picture in my mind of the meeting between the 5 Kage and the other 4 Kage bowing respectfully to Madara when they entered the room. Chapter 122 Connotation. Alice. It's just a fantasy. I don't know when the village will be able to stand up again. Perhaps, letting an Uchiha become Hokage can really change the current situation of the village. Uchiha? Forget it. I won't vote for them anyway. On screen Hashirama continued, besides that, many more people will join. This village will grow bigger and bigger. It's time to give the village a name. Do you have any good ideas? Madara looked down at the leaf in his hand, then placed it in front of his eyes. How is Konoha cure? Upon hearing this, Hashirama instantly lowered his head and fell into depression. So simple. No connotation at all, just copy it directly. Madara was furious and yelled at Hashirama, how is this different from being a Hokage? By the way, haven't you cured your depression problem yet? After calming down, Madara asked again, so, the job of the Hokage is to stay in the village and protect everyone? Hashirama touched his chin and said, this is part of it, but not all. The construction of the village will get down to business, and the Hokage will be busy. So I have to carve your huge yanine on the rock wall at your feet as a symbol of protecting the village. A drop of sweat fell down Ban's face, and he asked with an embarrassed look, are you kidding? Hashirama smiled and said, but your face is too fierce, it needs some work. Madara said speechlessly, it's better than your distraught and embarrassing expression. Hoshirama fell into depression. Is it really that embarrassing? Madara chuckled. Ah. This is so embarrassing yet, ha ha ha. Fire Nation Muai Village. So the name of Konoha Village was given by Madara, because he saw leaves, and the Shodaime used wood release? No wonder the Shodaime complained that Madara copied it directly. Hiss this analysis. Madara also said that it is no different from the name of Hokage. It reminds me of the leader who guards the land of fire in the shadows. Coincidentally, Madara is good at fire escape, and the first generation wants Madara, who is good at fire escape, to become the leader in the shadows. It looks like it has no connotation, but it's actually full of connotation. I don't know why, but I like to see Madara's angry face because of the first generation the most. On screen is it here? Tobirama ran over and shouted at the two people's backs, "Why are you still wasting time here? The Fire Country Daimyo is coming for a meeting." The smile on Madara's face disappeared and he turned his head to look at Tobirama. It's Tobirama. The two looked at each other, and there was obvious hostility in their eyes. Ninja world. These two people will never see eye to eye. Tobirama killed Izuna, and there is almost no possibility of reconciliation between the two. Just look at what future Madara did to Tobirama. He nailed Tobirama to the ground, and there were so many black sticks stuck in his body. On screen conference room, Hoshirama and Tobirama arrived here first. Tobirama asked, "Hokage? Why did you take the initiative?" Tobirama looked at Hoshirama, who was resting with his eyes closed, and then spoke again. "It is indeed okay to recommend Madara as a candidate for village chief, but the final candidate needs to listen to the opinions of the Fire Country and the villagers, and then communicate with the higher-ups to decide. This is no longer the era of my father." Hoshirama opened his eyes, but Tobirama interrupted, "Besides, Uchiha Madara will never be elected as the village chief. Everyone knows it. The one who facilitated the establishment of the village was you, big brother. Even the Uchiha people said so." Seeing Hoshirama frowning, Tobirama continued, "Besides, big brother, don't you know the rumors about the Uchiha? Among them, the stronger the hatred, the stronger the pupil power, and the Sharingan is like this. I don't know what this group of people will do for the future of the village." Hoshirama interrupted in a deep voice, "Don't say that, Tobirama." Just then, the sound of footsteps was heard outside the house. Hoshirama was startled and stood up and walked to the window. He opened the window and took a look. It seems that someone was here just now. "Tobirama, you should know, right?" Tobirama turned around and said, "No, I didn't use chakra just now." "Don't change the subject, brother. From now on, we will operate in a democratic way. Do you have any objections?" Hoshirama stuck his head out of the window and found a leaf on the ground that had been gnawed by insects. He bent down to pick it up, and the leaf broke, holding a half leaf in his hand. Hoshirama said, "No, let's do it this way. Ninja world, it must be Madara. I feel like something bad is going to happen." Is this broken leaf hinting at something? After hearing all this, Madara will surely have a rift with Konoha, right? Hoshirama promised Madara that he would be the leader, but in the end he didn't make it. Instead, because of public opinion, he became the Shodaime. Madara thought he would be the leader of the village, but in the end he didn't make it. It's really similar to what happened to Indra. Ban. That shouldn't be the case, right? On screen, the scene changes. The shadow rock of the pillars has been carved into the cliff one night. Inside the Uchiha Nanga shrine, Madara said to Hoshirama, "This is a stone tablet that has been passed down from generation to generation in the Uchiha clan. It has never been shown to outsiders. It is very special and requires pupil power to interpret. With my current ability, the content I can interpret is as follows. In pursuit of stability, a god divided yin and yang into two poles, and the two opposites interacted with each other, resulting in the creation of all things. This is a truth that applies to everything in the world. In other words, as long as two opposite forces complement each other, true happiness can be achieved. However, it can also be understood from another perspective." Hoshirama listened very carefully. Madara said, "Hoshirama, do you think I know nothing?" Hoshirama said solemnly, "Leave the Tobirama matter to me. I cannot do without your help. You are the Hokage's right-hand man and my brother. I hope you can assist me. One day, the people will discover your merits. By then, you will be the second generation." Madara did not agree with Hoshirama and continued to ask, "After you, the successor to the position of Hokage should be Tobirama, right? The Uchiha clan will be wiped out one day. I understand this, so I called on the Uchiha clan members to leave the village with me, but no one was willing to follow me." Hoshirama murmured, "Madara, I couldn't even save my brother. I promised him that I would protect the tribe members, but it seems I can't do it now. The tribe members I want to protect don't believe me at all, Hashirama said in a deep voice. That's not the case. We will be able to, soon. Madara interrupted him, staring at Hashirama and said, at that time, perhaps I should force you to kill your brother. You call me a brother, but, which side are you willing to give up for the village? I think I know you well enough. This is your limit. I want to leave the village. I found another way. It is because we are honest with each other that I can see everything clearly. It is called help, but in fact it is just a secret fight, Hashirama said anxiously. This is impossible. I won't let this happen, Madara said calmly. It all depends on how you understand the facts, Hashirama. Forget about the compromise. It is safer to regard this world as a show to entertain people. Hashirama's tone became more serious. Did you hear what I said? Madara. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123 Hashirama vs. Madara. Madara continued, you are the only one who is as strong as me. I will enjoy fighting you until we are on the path to our true dreams. Hashirama stared at Madara in a daze. After a moment, he asked, what is the real dream? Isn't our goal in this village? Madara said, you just can't see it. There is a road ahead, leading to the real dream, Zyujian said in a deep voice. Then tell me, what is the dream ahead? If it is the continuation of the dream of this village, I need you to guide everyone, both as a leader and as a friend. The corner of his mouth curled up with a trace of contempt. There is no such thing as continuation, and you will never achieve it. It is useless to chase after me. You should understand, right? No one can stand behind me. Pure Land Izuna looked angry. That group of clan members actually dared to betray Big Brother? Big Brother is the leader of the Uchiha clan. How could he harm them? These guys, you betrayed my big brother. Even if you were wiped out by that Senju Tobirama guy, you deserve it. Of course, this is just a rant in his heart. The only people he cares about are his elder brother and the Uchiha clan, but his elder brother is more important to him. Tobirama frowned and said in a cold voice, after I become the Hokage, the Uchiha will be wiped out sooner or later? Such obviously prejudiced words are really out of your mouth. If he really wanted to wipe out the Uchiha, why would he choose the monkey who inherited his eldest brother's will of fire to be the third generation? Humph. I also said that if you became Hokage, after your death, the village would be wiped out by the other ninja villages sooner or later. Tobirama sneered. Mata, you really have no idea why the Uchiha don't trust you. Ninja World nobody could stand behind him because he wouldn't be able to pee a bit. As long as he stays in the village, he looks happy. What else does he want to be happy? Is his brother resurrected? It turns out that Madara has found another way to peace. They have brought peace to the Fire Nation. So Madara's goal should be to bring peace to the entire ninja world, right? Isn't Madara a disaster for the future ninja world? Is it because we have a different culture from the people in the other world, and they don't like Madara's peace philosophy, so they say Madara is a disaster? It's the same thing as with Indra. As long as Madara becomes Hokage, everything will be happy. It was said but not done. Isn't it just adding to the conflict? Yin and Yang are divided into two poles. The two opposites interact with each other, and everything in the universe is created. Although I don't understand it, it looks very powerful. By the way, can Hashirama understand it? On screen the voice of the future Hashirama was heard. After leaving these words, Madara left the village. In the scene, Hashirama was walking on the streets of the village, nodding to everyone who greeted him. Only this time, there was no smile on his face. Hashirama's voice continued, we have come to this point together. In the village that Madara and I have always dreamed of, there is no Madara anymore, but around the world, this village system of the Ninja Clan Alliance, founded by the once sworn enemies, the Uchiha and the Senju, has been highly praised by everyone and has been imitated by many. The Leaf Ninja Village created by the Fire Nation and the system of the village being led by the village chief spread to other major countries. The Hidden Cloud Village was born in the Land of Lightning, and its leader called himself the Raikage Fire Nation Muai Village Sakura. On the screen, Hashirama's statement continued. The Hidden Rock Village was born in the Land of Earth, and its leader called himself Akatsuki. The Hidden Mist Village was born in the Land of Water, in the Kingdom of Wind. Not only big countries, but also small countries have adopted this system. Ben and my dream became a reality. The children of ninjas no longer have to go to war. They can experience the feeling of learning and playing. and grow up to the age where they can taste the taste of fine wine. Ninja World. The first Hokage was truly extraordinary. He ended the war in the Land of Fire, established a village, and also influenced the entire ninja world, eliminating the many wars in the ninja world. I was not born in the Land of Fire, but I was able to grow up to the age where I can taste fine wine. I have to thank the first Hokage. Unfortunately, as soon as he died, the first Ninja World War broke out. Even now, so many years have passed, and there has been no shortage of friction between countries. At least children nowadays don't have to go to the battlefield anymore. And war is inevitable, and it has nothing to do with the ninja village system. Seeing his face without a smile, I really want to comfort him. What is Madara's purpose? Is it just a sentence on the stone tablet? On screen, however, Madara suddenly launched an attack on Konoha, as if to destroy the dream he once had. In the picture, under the moonlight, the ninja tools in Hashirama and Madara's hands collided with each other, making a ding sound. After a brief fight, the two separated and Madara stood on top of the nine tails. Hashirama clasped his hands. Wood release. Wood dragon technique. A wooden dragon emerged from the wood beneath his feet and entangled the nine tails, continuously absorbing its chakra. The nine-tailed fox let out a scream, opened its mouth wide, and spit out a tailed beast ball, which shattered the wood dragon and attacked Hashirama, who was not far away. Hashirama clenched his hands again. Wood release. Woodman technique. A giant hand emerged from the wood under his feet and grasped the tailed beast ball. Then a wooden man emerged from the wood, holding the tailed beast ball and slapping the nine tails. A layer of blue armor appeared in front of the nine tails, blocking the tailed beast ball in the wooden man's hand. With a loud bang, the entire sky was dyed light red by this tremendous power. A huge mushroom cloud rose up, and Madara put Susanoo on the nine tails. Is it the wood release ranking technique that has resisted the beast's danger? A wooden face cracked layer by layer in the middle, and the figure of Hashirama appeared. They actually used Susanoo as armor on the tailed beasts. The corners of Hashirama's mouth curled up. This guy, Madara, is quite thoughtful. Ninja World hissed. The battle between these two will destroy the world. Hashirama can still laugh? Madara put that blue giant on the nine tails. How can Hashirama fight? Madara wants to destroy Konoha? By the way, is Madara becoming extreme? If you have your own goals, then go and achieve them. Why do you want to destroy Konoha village? I feel like he's a little weird. Is it because he didn't become the first Hokage? Maybe the system of Konoha village affected Madara's plan? So what he really wants to destroy is the ninja village system that the ninja world established by imitating Konoha. Otherwise, I can't think of any reason why he would do this. That's just looking for trouble. You really are the reincarnation of Indra. Indra's philosophy is correct. Still no explanation as to what Madara's plan is? I'm really curious. Kisame was doubting his life. This ninjutsu? You can use it just by putting your hands together. First Hokage, you are not a ninja at all when you use ninjutsu like this. What serious ninja doesn't perform hand seals? Chapter 124. The Child with the Surname Hand. On screen, the mighty Susanoo raised the samurai sword in his hand and slashed at Hashirama. The wooden man put his hands together, holding the samurai sword. I have seen through your attack. After saying that, Hashirama clasped his hands together and then opened them. Wood release. All bag techniques. Countless wooden hands emerged from the ground and grabbed the disguised Susanoo, but were cut in half by the samurai swords. One by one Hashirama jumped backwards. If we continue like this, the land will be in chaos. We'd better move to the seaside. Behind him, Madara was controlling the disguised Susanoo and chasing him closely. Don't run away. A tailed beast ball appeared in the mouth of the disguised Susanoo. Then, Susanoo merged the chakra of his katana into the tailed beast ball, forming a spinning tailed beast ball that shot towards Hashirama. You can't stop me now. Let's see what you can do. After Hashirama landed, he bit his finger and slapped the ground. Psychic, five-fold Rashomon, ding ding ding, bang bang bang. The five Rashomons had just emerged from the ground when they were knocked down by the Chakravartin. Madara narrowed his eyes. Has the trajectory changed? Hashirama looked back at the direction where the tailed beast ball flew. We hit the opposite land. There was a loud boom. The power of this spiral-tailed beast ball is many times stronger than the tailed beast ball. The scope of the explosion continued to expand, and countless pieces of rubble were shattered into powder by the aftermath. Madara looked down at Hashirama and said, Hashirama, it's been a while since I've fought you seriously. You should know that I'm different now, right? Hashirama put his hands together and asked loudly, are you going to make all our previous efforts go to waste? Madara, our fight will not bring any benefit. This fight will only hurt a village and the ninjas. It will only insult our brothers and compatriots. Ninja World, this move is really powerful. After borrowing the power of the Nine Tails, Madara's attack range is now larger than Indra's, so I am the Shura of the Ninja World. Somewhere in a secret base, Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his lower lip. What a powerful attack. Even the 5-layer Rashomon can only change the trajectory of the flight. Rain Country. After seeing this scene, Naruto opened his mouth wide and didn't close it for a long time. Amazing. Pain and Konan's eyes were filled with fear. It seems that I have to be more cautious when I meet a masked man next time. On screen, after hearing what Hashirama said, Madara asked with a gloomy face, "You are preaching to me?" Hashirama said loudly, "I don't want to kill you." Ban's face became even gloomier, and he asked, "Are you saying that you can kill me at any time?" "No. We are friends," Ban shouted in a deep voice. "I have already reached the other side." As he finished his words, the Nine Tails in the majestic Susanoo roared towards the Sky Ninja World. Alice, my girlfriend has been dead for 3 years. Somehow, the conversation between Madara and Hashirama reminded me of my girlfriend. This is what my wife does when we have an argument. Wow, they are exactly the same. If Madara was a girl, the child's child would have had a baby by now, right? A child with the surname Senju, in a village somewhere in the ninja world, in a family. The couple, who had just had a quarrel before the live broadcast, fell silent after seeing this scene. After a moment, the two looked at each other with strange expressions. I feel like laughing for no reason. On screen, Hashirama looked at Madara and pursed his lips tightly. "There's nothing I can do." He closed his eyes. Immortal technique. Black eyeshadow appeared on his face. Would release. True Thousand Hands. A huge Buddha statue rose from the ground, and the pillar standing on the top of the statue shouted, "I'm on it. Motor, come on. Hot mom, up, The Buddha on the top. As his words fell, thousands of wooden hands smashed towards the disguised Susanoo. After fending off dozens of wooden hands, each of the Yasuke Mogatama was completely consumed. Madara stood in Susanoo blankly, staring at the wooden hand that was hitting him, motionless. Rumble. Countless wooden hands smashed into the powerful Susanoo. After seeing this scene, the ninja world was in an uproar. How come Hashirama can use this move? Ashura was given power by the Sage of Six Paths and borrowed the power of the shinobi disciples to use this move. The huge wooden man from before was not even as big as the head of this Buddha statue. The wooden man actually stood directly on the head of the Buddha statue. Senjutsu? What is that? I remember Naruto also used Senjutsu. Is it a secret technique? This life is really worth it. I actually got to see so many powerful people fighting each other. Before anyone knew this move, Hashirama was called the God of Ninja. If everyone knew his full strength at that time, then, the God of Ninja is not enough to describe Hashirama. Even the Shura of the ninja world is the same. There is no need for the two of them to join forces. Just one of them is enough to make the entire ninja world unable to find anyone comparable to them. Pure Land. The corner of Tobirama's mouth twitched. He knew that his elder brother was very strong, incredibly strong, but he didn't expect that his elder brother actually had this kind of trick hidden. You're so strong, Hashirama. Uzumaki Miro couldn't help but sigh after being shocked. Senju Hashirama laughed and said, "This is my son." Senju Hashirama. Uchiha Tajima, your son has always been suppressed by my son. He is still far from it. Rain Country. Tendo Pain looked at Naruto, whose eyes were full of admiration, and said, "In the future, you should focus on improving your strength by fusion with wood release. As the reincarnation of Ashura like the first Hokage, there is no reason why you can't use wood release." Naruto's eyes sparkled and he nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. A scene had already appeared in his mind of him learning wood release and returning to Konoha village, where his grandfather, the third generation, would pass the position of Hokage to him. Hey. Konan looked at the smirking Naruto and the corners of her mouth twitched. She hasn't learned wood release yet, but she's already become beautiful. Muai village. Every time Madara comes up with something new, the first generation can always resolve it easily. It is estimated that only when Madara possesses the Rinnegan, his strength will be able to surpass the first generation. Will Madara be completely defeated by this move like Indra? Uchiha Clan Minaga Shrine. Is this the combat power that the first generation can display when they get serious? I always feel that Master Madara used that move too early, otherwise even this Buddha statue could be destroyed. In the final analysis, it is still with the help of the nine-tailed fox's power. Otherwise it is possible that even the first generation master would not be able to use this move of the true thousand hands. The Uchiha naturally would not be as prejudiced against Hashirama as the other Hokage. This could be seen from the fact that they recognized Hashirama more than Madara since the beginning of Konoha. On screen, after the smoke cleared, Susanoo was in tatters. The big Buddha broke away from the Buddha statue behind him and walked towards the nine-tailed fox. Madara looked up, staring blankly at the giant Buddha, getting closer and closer until the big Buddha stretched out his hand, grabbed the nine-tailed fox and held it up. Hashirama stood on top of the wooden man and stretched out his hand without even making a seal. Kuogen enters the temple and lowers his hands. The wooden man also stretched out his palm, and after Hashirama injected chakra into his palm, the word Zao appeared and pressed it towards the top of the nine-tailed head. Chapter 125 Destined. Seeing this, Madara quickly jumped aside. The anger in the nine-tailed fox's eyes disappeared as it was held down by the wooden man's hand, and it slowly closed its eyes. Hashirama leaped up and landed not far from Madara. The two looked at each other for a moment. Motor, Hashi hot mom. After shouting, the two rushed towards each other at the same time. Ninja World didn't such an attack defeat Madara directly. Why do I feel that Madara's strength has surpassed Indra now? The Kyuubi is so powerful, but it couldn't even resist Hashirama. This level of fighting is really outrageous. On screen Madara held a sickle and a fan, while Hashirama on the other side of the river held a samurai sword and looked at each other breathlessly. Madara said, "This time, it's your turn and you still can't go." After saying that, he stepped on the river surface and rushed towards Hashirama with a swish sound. The two figures crossed each other. Madara stopped walking, and Hashirama fell onto the river. Hashirama used his hands to push himself up. Madara said, "I am the one standing," which is exactly the opposite of what I was doing back then. Hashirama looked at the river and said in a trance, "I just realized my dream. I want to protect it. I can't let you." Having said that, he turned to look at Madara. Madara smiled and said, "You seem quite depressed, Hashirama. Can't you give up on yourself this time?" Hashirama recalled the time when they played stone-skipping games on the water as children and how they expressed their ideals to each other. Finally, he gritted his teeth, as if he had made some kind of resolution. Next moment, Madara Miran, whose heart was stabbed by a knife, widened his eyes. He turned his head and looked at the original position of Hashirama. His pupils tightened. Would release. Clone? I was attacked from behind. Behind him, Hashirama spoke in a deep voice. "I want to protect us. No. Protect my village, no matter what happens. I firmly believe that protecting the village is the top priority. Protecting it is equivalent to protecting the people, protecting the ninjas and the children, whether it's my friend, brother, or even my child. As long as they are the enemy of the village, I will never let them go." Madara could no longer support himself and fell to his knees on the river. He spoke weakly. "You have changed, Hashirama, putting the cart before the horse. This will become the darkness of the village. Sooner or later." After saying that, he fell down. Hashirama stumbled and knelt in front of Madara's body. He pursed his lips tightly and stared at Madara's body in a daze. The view was getting farther and farther away, and the figure of Hashirama looking at Madara's corpse was getting smaller and smaller until finally, the screen went completely black. Ninja World, is this movie finished? Just like Indra and Ashura, the ending is still so sad. I hope Naruto and Sasuke will be better. None of us who watched this scene could understand the pain that Hashirama felt when he killed his friend. He really regarded Madara as a brother. I feel so sorry for Hashirama. He would rather commit suicide than not build a village with Madara, but Madara suddenly wants to destroy the village that he built with so much effort. Yes. During those years, Hashirama kept recalling the scene when he told Madara about his ideals, but Madara insisted on destroying Konoha. I was wondering why Hashirama always recalled these things. Now I think I understand. Especially when he finally made up his mind to kill Madara, how painful must he have felt? I didn't see that Madara wanted to kill Hashirama. I felt that he just wanted to defeat Hashirama, who was standing in the way of Konoha village, but Hashirama killed Madara. It was clearly agreed that Madara would be the Hokage, but Hashirama didn't do it. After Izuna's death, the person closest to Madara was Hashirama. What a terrible fate, Alice. This is all the destiny of Indra and Ashura, but Madara is not dead, he is still alive. Didn't Madara say that he was fighting for peace in the ninja world? Yes, Madara also wants peace in the ninja world. Although I don't know what kind of peace it is, he must be very lonely, right? No one in this world understands him. Just like Indra, Madara's peace plan should be similar to Indra's, right? If that's the case, how can Madara be considered a disaster for the ninja world? He is the true savior of the ninja world. With Madara's arrogant and stubborn personality, I think he is unwilling to follow the peace established by Hashirama. He wants to bring peace to the ninja world in his own way. He also said that he doesn't like others standing behind him, so he is ready to bear this loneliness alone. In fact, It was Madara himself who put the cart before the horse, right? The ninja world was already at peace at that time, and the ninja god had done a good job. Although after their death, the ninja world would still be in chaos, Madara is just too arrogant. He probably wants to end the war in the ninja world by himself. He does have the ability to do so. Madara has never considered our thoughts, nor has he asked those of us living in the ninja world whether we are willing to accept the peace he brought us. This is not the era of the ninja clan. If Izuna hadn't died, maybe Madara wouldn't have left Konoha. As long as one is a normal person, no one dislikes peace, but no normal person likes to be forced in the eyes of many people. Indra and Madara's idea is that they can only choose the fate they impose on the ninja world, which naturally arouses rebellious psychology in some people, of course. Not everyone thinks this way. They are all a group of people who have experienced pain. In their eyes, whoever brings them peace is a good person, no matter in what way. They have no power, so they can only pray to the strong to bring fairness and peace to this world. Before knowing Madara's true purpose, many people believe that no matter what Madara did, his starting point was to bring peace to the ninja world. People in the ninja world have mixed opinions about Madara's behavior. Muai village Sarutobi Hirozen suppressed the sadness rising in his heart and said, since Madara's goal is also for the peace of the ninja world, it means that this is not a bad thing for the ninja world. Maybe there will be a day when I can sit down and have a good talk with Madara. They all had the same idea. They all believed that Madara's purpose was the same as Indra's. Pure lamb. Tears of heartache welled up in Izumi's eyes. Although he knew that his elder brother was not dead, he had seen with his own eyes Hashirama stabbing his elder brother's heart. Brother, I don't know how much you have suffered for the peace of this ninja world. Just what he saw during the live broadcast. First he was kicked by Kai, and then he was hit by Naruto's lava release chakra shuriken. Then he was hit by nearly 1,000 wooden hands from behind. Finally, the heart was pierced again. And only then did he realize that he had misunderstood his elder brother all along. What his elder brother said to Sasuke, that in order to protect something, he was even willing to sacrifice his brothers, was a mockery of Hashirama Senju. It wasn't that he was forgotten by his eldest brother soon after his death. In this microfilm, anyone can see how important Izuna is to Madara. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.